is Braves Vision.
Baseball is presented by Truist. There is a live look at Truist Park on this Monday night as the Braves wrap up a 4-game series against their rival, the New York Mets. And we welcome you back to the broadcast booth, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside CJ Nikowski. Well, we're fresh. We had a couple days off. Braves won one, lost one while we were away, but a chance to win the series today. And CJ, the bats in the month of July have turned things around.
Everybody done panicking. The power is back. The offense is exactly where we want to see it right now. The home runs in particular have really stuck out here so far, 3 games against the New York Mets, and it has been really good to see that power. We saw it on Friday. We continue to see it throughout the weekend. That opposite field grand slam from Drake Baldwin. There's Michael Harris going deep as well, and those awesome Independence weekend jerseys that we saw here. We take a look at what we're talking about. 28 runs already through the 3 games here, and the big number, the 10 home runs right now for the Atlanta Braves. There have been somewhat of a power outage. It is over.
And a couple of roster moves today, maybe most notably Owen Murphy is here, and he's going to make, if he comes out of the bullpen today, his major league debut.
A lot to be excited about. We saw him in spring training. We saw him in the Futures game, a very unique and special fastball. J.R. Ritchie is back as well. Of course, we've seen him already. Both of those guys right now will be in the bullpen to help. Unfortunately for Martin Perez, he has to go on the IL after that line drive that he took off his forearm. Now, we have Freddie Peralta, who has been really struggling right now. You can see the numbers for him this season. That is not the Freddie Peralta that we are used to seeing. And Ronaldo Lopez, coming off a great start in his last one, will get a chance to help the Braves win this series.
The Braves have 5 All-Stars that were named on Saturday, and there's going to be a special on-field ceremony right now to honor those 5 men in those Braves uniforms. Let's take you there.
Our Braves country.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 MLB All-Star Game will be held on Tuesday, July 14th in Philadelphia. Players and coaches from all 30 clubs will come together to showcase the best talent from across the league. Please join us as we recognize the All-Stars representing your Atlanta Braves. Starting pitcher, Chris Sale. This is Chris's 10th career All-Star selection and 3rd in 3 years with the Braves. His 10 All-Star game selections are the most by any active pitcher in baseball. He currently ranks 3rd in the NL with a 2.27 ERA. He has struck out 112 batters over 95 innings this season, and his career rate of 11.1 strikeouts per 9 innings is the highest in Major League history. Closer, Raisel Iglesias. This is his first career All-Star selection. He has converted all 17 save chances this season, and his 35 consecutive saves dating to last year is the longest such streak in baseball. His 270 career saves are 4th most among active pitchers. First baseman, Matt Olson. This is his 4th career All-Star selection, 3rd with the Braves. Since joining the Braves, he leads all first basemen in the NL in B-WAR, home runs, RBIs, walks, and extra base hits, and has won a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger Award. Second baseman, Ozzie Albies. This is his 4th career All-Star selection, but his first All-Star start. His 4 career All-Star games are most in franchise history by a second baseman. Ozzie ranks third among NL second basemen with 14 homers, fourth with 49 RBIs, and leads all of Major League Baseball with 10 sacrifice flies. Since his first full Major League season in 2018, he has the most hits, doubles, home runs, and RBIs as a second baseman in baseball. And catcher, Drake Baldwin. He becomes the first Braves catcher to start the All-Star game since Sean Murphy in 2023. He joins Ronald Acuna Jr. and David Justice as the only players in franchise history to win Rookie of the Year and start an All-Star game for the club. He clubbed his first career Grand Slam yesterday afternoon, and his 15 home runs this season are second most by a primary catcher in the National League. Braves country, please join the Atlanta Braves as we congratulate all of our 2026 All-Stars and wish them well in Philadelphia.
Ozzie Albies, Drake Baldwin, Matt Olson, Chris Sale, Raisel Iglesias off to Philly. Will Michael Harris be going there? It's still possible. We'll talk about that when we return.
This country knows a thing or two about scoring, right?
And by Alpha Insurance, your winning lineup for auto, home, life, and health. Welcome back to Truist Park. As you just saw, a ceremony for the 5 All-Stars for the Atlanta Braves. Ozzie, Drake, Olson, Sale, and Raisel Iglesias. And hopefully Michael Harris gets to be an All-Star. He certainly deserves it based on the numbers that we have seen so far. And that leads us to our Zaxby's Who's Got the Sauce. So career high in average. He's already 4 homers away from his career. 51 driven in as well. Hard hit rate over 50%. You would have to think that if he's not the first call for a replacement All-Star, he would be the second, but hopefully Michael Harris would join the rest of the crew in Philadelphia for the Midsummer Classic. Hey, somebody who did get a call the other day and is now in the bigs, Owen Murphy. One of the Braves' top pitching prospects is here. Wiley welcomes him to the show when we get back.
Braves on Braves Vision.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price. Xfinity, imagine that. By Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Georgia Power, score big savings at georgiapower.com/tips.
Braves are looking for the series win and to secure a winning homestand on a Monday night against the Mets. Now, we've documented that the Braves bullpen has been overtaxed, and Atlanta has gone to their prospect well again to pick up Owen Murphy, preparing to make his Major League debut. Let's take a look at our John Foy, the strong arm. Here are his numbers in AAA. Now, he's made 11 starts, yet to make a professional relief appearance, but that will be his role tonight and moving forward as protection for the bullpen. He's got a well-carrying fastball, and he hopes to make his Major League debut tonight. 22 years old from Chicago, Illinois, and he is headed to the bullpen. And we are headed for first pitch. Braves and Mets, game 4 of this 4-game set. Atlanta trying to win 3 of those 4 on Braves Vision.
Braves Vision. It is a nice Monday night here at Truist Park as the Braves polish off this homestand and this 4-game series against the New York Mets. Bo Bichette, he's going to bat third, Juan Soto second. Those two have both had nice series. 5 hits and a homer for Soto. Bichette's driven in 4 with 6 hits, so certainly you always have to watch out for those two. And Reynaldo Lopez getting the start tonight for Atlanta.
And that last start was really good for Ronaldo. Good to see him back on the mound here again tonight.
And he starts by painting that outside corner to A.J. Ewing.
I'd say that was a big part of what we saw in that first one, right? Or I should say the last one. Really good command. Velocity was up, which was really nice as well. And that slider was on point.
Yeah, the 5 innings, so 1 run, 69 pitches that he threw last Wednesday against the Cardinals. Quickly 0-2 as we get you CJ's Ford Keys.
Well, you kind of alluded to it. It is the Bo-So no Mo, and that is Bo Bichette and Juan Soto have been crushing the Braves. 7 homers and a .489 batting average, and put it on repeat Ronaldo.
What a start. 3 pitches and down goes Ewing.
Really well done. A couple on the corner and then go ahead and expand here to get some chase with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Ronaldo Lopez. I put a lot of thought into that Bo So No Mo, and I kind of thought it got a little bit of a longer look. To rush through that one a little bit.
Well, I was just going to say, now here we go, Bo So No Mo. But it's now with Soto batting second, maybe it's So Bo So
Yeah,
No.
well, I started out with like a Bo nose, and then I backtracked to this.
Okay.
I was like, well, actually, both of these guys have been crushing the Braves so far this year.
Yeah, Juan Soto, we talked about it the other day. He has done it in his career. He has hit really well, no matter what uniform he's been wearing against Atlanta. But he could not stop his bat there. 1-1. He is the lone New York Met to be named to the National League All-Star roster. His 5th All-Star nod.
So we know about the issues that they've had, but when you put it like that and you think about the 2nd highest payroll in baseball, $365 million, to only have 1 All-Star is kind of incredible.
We talked a lot the other day about the change in manager. Carlos Mendoza fired June 26th, so Andy Green takes over the rest of the season. It has been very volatile in Queens this year, and the club is 16 games under. Now Soto will earn a free pass here with 1 away. Racetrack defense here for the Atlanta Braves. Dubon, Harris, and Yastrzemski. And on the infield, another start for the rookie Jim Jarvis at short. And another roster note to pass along. We mentioned Owen Murphy's in the bullpen. When he comes out, it'll be his major league debut. Eli White is on the paternity list. His wife about to deliver their 3rd child, so no Eli White here this evening.
Ironically enough, Eli and I were having this conversation when we were on the West Coast, and he said, man, we're hoping we can make it to the All-Star break. And I'm not going to say unfortunately because it's great news, but coming maybe just a tick earlier than expected, and he'll be missed, but obviously a big moment. It'll be his 3rd child for the Whites.
Tough as a baseball player to time it just right.
Let's do what I did. I skipped the last one. I was on the other side of the world. That was my built-in excuse. I was in spring training in Japan. That was the way I was getting back.
That's tough.
And I think he likes me. I don't think he holds it against me.
No, I think you guys have a great relationship.
No. The one who went through labor, maybe not as happy about it. But that's fine.
Now Bo Bichette 6 for 13 in the series, and he's driven in 4. Big swing at the fastball. It's been an interesting series. Braves winning on Friday, winning big on July 4th on Saturday. Then yesterday, that strange one where the Mets got 5 in the top of the 9th to go up 7. The Braves got 6 in the bottom of the 9th, but couldn't fully complete the comeback.
How'd you do on that emotional roller coaster? I was struggling.
Ooh, called strike. Well, we're going to get a challenge here from Bichette. I don't know, partner. This might have been low.
Yeah, I think he's going to win this one. And with Lance Barrett, you do get sometimes a low strike zone where he expands, which he did there, but it turns out to be a ball.
That ABS review is powered by T-Mobile. But yeah, I was just like everybody else thinking, oh, well, this is probably over. We'll just try to pick up the pieces tomorrow. And then they started to get people on. Then Drake hits the grand slam. Like, oh, wait, hold the phone here. Strike 3, the throw. Boy, if Ozzie could have held on and applied the tag, maybe they had it.
The batter's challenging.
And Bichette is going to challenge
He's
again.
He's going to be super disappointed in this one.
Now, this looked like a strike.
By a lot.
Yeah.
The call is confirmed. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
All right, so 2 down and Soto in scoring position.
His throw was a little bit low. Wasn't sure how close it got to Ronaldo Lopez, and you mentioned it. Let's see here. Maybe looked a little bit different from our booth. Yeah, go ahead and get out of the way. It wasn't going to hit him anyway, but this was a tough one. Had Ozzie held on to it, he would have been out. But why is Soto not sliding? God forbid somebody got hurt there. That would have been brutal.
How was your emotional state in the 9th inning?
So same thing, right? Up and down, and you're playing that game. Once they got the potential winning run at second base, I'm like, oh, this game's over. They're going to win it. And then, of course, it didn't work out that way. But, I mean, it was bookended by excitement, very quiet in the middle. It was a wild one.
Lindor loud off the bat, but high enough that it's playable for Harris. Nothing for the Mets. Bravos coming up. Michael Harris having a great series. He will lead it off for the Atlanta Braves. Let's take a look at the lineup for Walt Weiss. We mentioned Drake Baldwin with a grand slam yesterday, and also named to his first All-Star team. He's going to be the starting catcher for the National League. All good things right now for Drake Baldwin. And it's fastball Freddie Peralta, the righty, gets the start for the Mets.
Now the struggles have been real here with that 4.81 ERA, and the home runs in particular is something we're hoping we're going to see here tonight. He has allowed 12 home runs to left-handed hitters. That is already a career high, and we're not even to the All-Star break. And of course, 7 lefties in the lineup tonight for the Braves.
Starting with Harris. And you look at the last 5 for Freddie Peralta, CJ. Now, one of those starts against Atlanta was pretty good, but he gave up 10 runs at Philly on June 20th, where things really came off the rails. So he has been having some issues.
Yeah, just 1-3. You mentioned the one good game that he had in there over those 5. ERA at 8.5. Strikeout rate was down considerably over that time there. You can see where the career rate, strikeouts per 9, is and where he's been over that time.
Yeah, so trying to find himself a little bit here, the 30-year-old righty.
It's kind of a push to the trade deadline. 2 things for him. Push to the trade deadline, and then, of course, kind of that push into free agency where he wants to finish strong and kind of remind everybody who he is, and do that starting next year.
Yeah, not now. He knocks this down, but he's never going to get Michael Harris. Think it hit his glove, but we'll get another peek at it.
Well, Michael all over this 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 108 back, and, well, maybe could have been that left calf for Freddie Peralta. And if it was, and they're not checking on him, you know, we talked about, we've seen this now, of course, with Dustin May when he was here, the ability to land. And you're talking about the left leg in particular. I guess he's fine.
Yeah, they didn't even look out there at him, so he appears to be okay. And here's Ozzie Albies. Look, unfortunately, yesterday in that game, Martin Perez took a comebacker off the forearm and was put on the injured list today. So if you didn't hear that, he'll be out at least 15 days.
That one got him clean. And Mark Bowman reporting after the game that you could see the stitches of the baseball on his forearm.
Wild pitch. It came right back to Alvarez. If he had fielded that cleanly, there might have been a play at second.
Made it all the way back to Peralta. He's the one that ends up picking it up, and Alvarez not anticipating the ball coming back as quickly as it did, but it went glove, brick, and then an error there, if you will, from Alvarez that he won't get charged for. And that was a changeup too, by the way.
The good news on Perez, they've done all the scans and they are saying it's just a contusion. Now, we've seen it before where that changes with more imaging, but hopefully it won't be a long absence for Martin Perez.
I think the big one, if it does remain that way, is how much time does he need to kind of get the soreness out and get it down, and then where the comfort level is with throwing. You start to get to 4, 5, 6 days where you're not quite able to throw, and hopefully it won't be that long. Then you get concerned about even being ready after 15 days.
And we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out, but Perez will miss a few turns through the rotation. Slow coming in that time to Ozzie. Swing and a miss. 75 miles per hour on the curveball for the first out. If you miss the ball that went back to Perez, here it was.
Yeah, pretty hard off the bat. You see it catch him again right on that forearm. Now you see him, he's wearing the sleeves. The adrenaline takes him through to finish the play. You know, he basically started kind of putting that hand up and flinching and reacting to that baseball coming back at him, but it got him pretty clean.
So Matt Olson, who a couple of days ago just received his 4th All-Star nod, 3rd as a Brave. He will not be starting. Freddie Freeman will start, but Matt Olson easily won the player vote, but the fan vote went to Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, and it was pretty close. If you go side by side, Matty's got him easily in home runs. Actually, coming into today, the same amount. Exact same amount of games played, exact same amount of plate appearances. Freddie's got him on batting average, slightly on the OPS. But the defense is one of the big separators for Matt Olson. That probably doesn't get appreciated as much by the fans, but clearly by the other players.
"22 homers, 54 driven in." It's been a tremendous first half. Full count right there at the bottom of the zone on the sweeper.
And as much as we talk about that fastball, it is multiple breaking balls that you have to deal with. Curveball, slider, the sweeper that you just saw, and every once in a while a slower curveball.
And then he speeds things up and he strikes out Matt Olson. So 2 down. Here's the defense brought to you by Racetrack for the New York Mets. Ewing and Binge, the 2 youngsters out there. Ronnie Mauricio at short, and Alvarez working behind the plate.
2 errors yesterday for pitcher pickoffs, which is not something you see very often. It was a big part of that rally that we saw in the 9th inning when Brazoban threw the ball away and nobody was standing over at first. No, McLean threw one away as well.
We'll take a couple more of those tonight.
The kind of stuff that just seems to pile on when things are not going well with your team, and this defense has not been very good for the Mets.
So Drake Baldwin, the grand slam yesterday in that busy 9th inning. First career grand slam for Drake Baldwin.
Checking off a lot of boxes for the Rookie of the Year and an All-Star, now the Granny.
This is what it looked like. He didn't know that it left. He stopped at first base. He wasn't sure it got out of here.
Well, the location of the pitch really makes this opposite field grand slam even more impressive. The confusion is Eli White wasn't sure where the baseball was. And he was at first base and got to second and started making his way back. And that's, I think, what kind of confused Drake Baldwin as well. Is like, wasn't that gone? And it got close. God forbid that you get Drake Baldwin passing Eli White and then it's no longer a grand slam, but they got it figured out.
Yeah, thankfully that did not happen. So Peralta trying to come back here and strike out 3 straight after that leadoff infield single. Full count. Another decently humid night, but the temperature is really not that bad. 84 degrees right now here in Atlanta. Twenty-second pitch of the first inning for Freddie Peralta. Baldwin gives it a ride to center. Ewing still going. And he's got it on the warning track. Scoreless after 1.
Michelin, motion for life.
Before we get to the action in the second inning, we go down to Wiley Ballard for our Kia Field report.
Well, Brandon, we all know about that soccer tournament that's going on that we can't say the name of, but there's also a tennis tournament, Wimbledon, and the reason I bring that up for Ronaldo Lopez is his oldest daughter, Zoe, is an avid tennis player. In fact, Ray told me that's one of the ways he stays in shape in the offseason, playing with her. Son's a big basketball fan. So, again, Wimbledon was on the mind. Ray's daughter loves to play tennis. I wanted to talk about tennis, and that's how we did it.
We can actually say Wimbledon.
We can.
Yeah.
So Wimbledon.
They're much more friendly, I guess, in sharing their name.
Good stuff. Now there's a fan for the other event for the U.S. men's soccer team that plays tonight out in Seattle. And Lopez right there on the inside corner to Carson Bench. Another tennis tie-in actually is that Bo Bichette was a really good tennis player as a kid. His dad, of course, longtime big leaguer Dante Bichette, was trying to make sure that he focused on other things besides baseball, so got him into tennis. He was tremendous, but in the end, baseball won his heart, and I would say that worked out okay for Bo Bichette.
Yeah, won his bank account as well, and he's turned into a really good player, right? And that's cool, though, and I like that. And Dante Bichette, there's some really good videos of him talking, hitting. He's a good listen when it comes to, I think, raising a child to play professionally, and the idea that you would have your son or daughter play multiple sports. We say it a lot. It is extremely important. It's made him a great all-around athlete, and it made him a shortstop in the big leagues for a long time.
And now third baseman.
And he, for a while there, he had kind of the Agassi hair going, too. He had the tennis flow. Now he's tightened it up a little bit here over the last couple of years. We watch a lot of Wimbledon in our house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, your wife likes it.
Megan's
a big fan. Now, it's just me and my household, and it hasn't made it on yet. This one's going to bounce foul.
It's really good for an afternoon nap. It's very relaxing, very quiet.
See, that's when I like to turn on golf.
Yeah, equally
Just
as tiring.
And you zone in and out. It's a beautiful thing. Deep toward the gap in left center. And it gets out of here to the first row. A solo shot for Carson Bench. 1-0.
One of the things that we have noticed here with Carson Bench is how aggressive his swing is regardless of strikes. And we noted it early on, and he was in a 1-2 count, a couple of foul balls, and against the slider from Ronaldo Lopez, he goes big. You see all that effort as he kind of gets to the baseball and then threw it. It wasn't a bad pitch. It was down. It's just a good piece of hitting.
11th homer of the season for the former number 19 overall pick Carson Bench to make it 1-0 here. Now Jared Young fouls it away. A ball and a strike. Jarvis into the outfield grass. Makes a catch, one away. Nine homers, 19 driven in for Francisco Alvarez. Also missed a month with a torn right meniscus. But we talked about it when the Braves played up in New York. They thought that that was going to keep him out for 2 months, and that's usually the timeline, 6 to 8 weeks. But he got back pretty quickly. Sometimes he's catching, sometimes he's DHing. Tonight he's behind the dish.
Early on here, this location for edges with the Ronaldo Lopez fastballs look really good. And he's doing it with some velocity as well, which we talked about last time. That average velo was up to 95 in his last start. That one right there at 96, but painted.
Broken back. And an easy one for Ozzie. Well, and with the Martin Perez news, again, hopefully he only is out the minimum 15 days, but Reynaldo Lopez trying to find himself again in this rotation. You would think that probably solidifies him at least for a couple of more weeks, right?
I would think so, and he's looked good. He quite honestly looks a little bit like a different guy than we saw. We know that when he was in the bullpen, while he was a good soldier and didn't say much, you got the impression he certainly wanted to be back into the rotation. And he's kind of looking like it's early here, but Ronaldo of old. The slider was really good in the last one. Curveball as well. He's been using that curveball a little bit more in these last two starts. And the velo and command has been solid.
Solid velo there at 95. 0-2 here to Brett Beatty.
As much as he wanted to be back in the rotation, one of the concerns was coming off of shoulder surgery and then where his innings were. It was 5 innings last year. There's no way he could make 28, 30 starts this season. So he got a little bit of a rest. And now he's back in it.
Beatty 4 for 11 with a pair of doubles here in this wraparound 4-game series. 2 outs, 2-2 pitch. Another slider in the dirt. You don't see these series very often where it wraps around to a Monday. Quite a few teams have today off, but Braves and Mets 4-game series. And then Walt Weiss's crew off to Pittsburgh to start a series tomorrow, and then to St. Louis for 3 to finish off the first half. Yastrzemski backpedaling. He's got it, but the leadoff homer by Binge makes it 1-0 Mets. You are looking live at our Georgia Natural Gas Green Life Impact player. His name, Mauricio Dubon. He's had a great season, and he's on a great run. 13-game on-base streak. Trying to make it 14 here tonight.
Quietly, I think, for Mauricio Dubon, right? It felt like so much was happening early in the season that all of a sudden you got this little 13-game on-base streak, and there's some big numbers there for Dubon.
This one's going to hang up in the air for Soto. And 48th RBI yesterday for Dubon, already a new career high, and it's July 6th. Just really incredible stuff.
And this fan base absolutely loves Mauricio Dubon and what he has brought to the table. Offensively, of course, what he can do for you defensively and the flexibility and how well he has played multiple positions.
And not many people can pull off that haircut, but I feel as if he's done it successfully.
I would agree.
Like if I do that, they're putting me in a mental home. Am I right?
I'm going to tell you, went a little bit too tight on the sides. There's something about head shape too with certain haircuts, right? Where I think kind of make it work.
The guy behind him, his name's Wiley Ballard.
Yeah. Somebody wake him up.
Could Wiley pull that off? I think so.
There's only one way to find out. You got clippers? Well, you know what? They got it.
They've got a barber
in the clubhouse. Yeah.
In the clubhouse. He's ready. There's free Kit Kats in there too while you wait. Still 1-2. Let's look at Freddie Peralta's arsenal here, CJ.
I mentioned those multiple breaking balls. Yes, he leads with the fastball, and then it's the changeup. But a lot of different looks on the benders that you're going to get from the right-hander. And what's interesting about the sweeper is that he had only thrown 19 to lefties all season. He threw 3 to Matt Olson, and he just threw 1 there to Dom Smith.
Throws a four-seam fastball there, and maybe he regrets it. Dom Smith goes the other way for a single.
And I think the reason that is, as he went sweeper and then fastball there to Dom Smith, is because of the issues that he's had on his fastball, just trying to disguise it a little bit differently than maybe he is used to. And I think it worked on Matt Olson. It didn't work here, though, against Dom Smith, as he was very short and quick to that baseball. He has the benefit of watching the Matt Olson at bat and wondering if he was going to see the same pattern, and he did.
Again, they call him Fastball Freddy because he uses that pitch so much, and it's been such a big part of his career. But Dom Smith made him pay on that pitch. Now here's Riley. Slow curve at 74.
I think so often about breaking your bat on a fastball that's well located, maybe a cutter. Not that often on a 74-mile-an-hour curveball.
Riley has seen Peralta pretty well when these two have squared off. 7 for 18, a couple of homers in there as well for Riley. And those numbers, that's our Whataburger. What a play here tonight.
Some really nice numbers against Freddie Peralta. And I think for Austin Riley, these are the kind of things that you're looking for, comfort level, whether it's ballpark, certain pitchers. Ooh.
He could not hold up. The curveball gets him. 3 strikeouts so far for Peralta.
And I think what you see right there in this at bat is what teams are seeing with Austin Riley. You got the first fastball was outside of the strike zone. Sweeper, slow curve, sweeper, and then regular curveball, right? The right on right breaking ball we know has been a little bit of a problem here for Austin, and Freddie Peralta exploited it.
We'll see how the next week plays out, CJ, but I do think the homer the other day to right for Riley, a few hits the last couple games, it does seem like he's turning a corner.
I would agree. And there's something about opposite field with a little bit of thump behind it that makes you feel good about where a swing is.
There was some thump there off of Young's glove, and Yastrzemski will beat it out. It was 98 off the bat.
Now, certainly that baseball was hit hard. It's a matter of whether or not they believe Young should have had him. It's a pretty high hop. Felt like even though it was hit so firmly that's one play that he should make. Probably should be. Not the greatest footwork, and again, it was hit hard. Probably should be an error.
But they do give a hit to Mike Yastrzemski.
All right, no complaints.
Yeah, he'll take it.
No, I take that back. There is a complaint on the mound right now. Freddie Peralta probably doesn't love that.
Yeah. Yaz likes it. All right, here's Jim Jarvis with 2 on and 2 out. You see those numbers, but remember, it's just his 5th career start. He's 2 for 11 so far at the big league level. So since last season, again, a lot of this is because of the recent troubles, but plus 2.11 for Peralta.
And the Rays scheduled to see Paul Skeens tomorrow for the Pittsburgh Pirates. His velocity is down as well. Jeffrey Springs of the A's will tell you, well, I had to pitch twice in Las Vegas and I have to pitch all my home games in Sacramento. So get off my back.
Yeah, those games in Vegas, they were video game numbers, those poor pitchers. Inning number 2, 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jarvis shallow left. Is it going to drop? It will. It dropped in there perfectly. First career RBI for Jim Jarvis, and it ties this ball game here in the second.
So we told you about the Austin Riley at bat, right? All those breaking balls. This was an all fastball plate appearance from Freddie Peralta to Jarvis, 5 of them, and they were all high velocity. That last one at 98. Freddie Peralta, I don't say this in a bad way, but almost showing no respect to Jarvis. He said, here's my heater. Let me see if you can hit it. He didn't square it up, but it works. And then Juan Soto getting to the act here during the World Cup and kicking it around.
You said it.
Find me.
All right, so runners at the corners, a little conference on the mound. And they did retrieve that baseball for Jim Jarvis.
I mean, that's what you want to see, right? This high velocity. We know that he's got a great glove. Can you fight off some good pitchers? Can you put the ball in play, right? There's a little bit of that Nick Allen kind of element that we saw last year with the Braves over at shortstop and Jim Jarvis, except that there's more speed there and maybe potentially, because he's so young, a little bit more upside with the bat.
Harris gives the Braves the lead. So 10 people have come to the plate. Harris twice. Braves have 5 hits, and they lead it 2-1.
How about the approach here from Michael? This is a first pitch changeup, and it's not a bad one. It's off the plate, but he sees it up. He's got an idea in mind here against the right-hander Peralta with all this room on the left side of the infield and a runner in a scoring position. A very unselfish team at bat there from Michael Harris.
Newly adopted England soccer fan Michael Harris, who correctly predicted England's 3-2 win over Mexico last night, said he watched the entire way through, biting his nails during that game, he said. The England fans that were here in Atlanta, they took a liking to Michael. They were chanting his name during the game, and then he kind of returned the favor by buying a jersey and becoming a big England soccer fan. It'll be tough if they play the U.S. at some point.
Well, ultimately, I think we know where Michael's allegiances will lie.
Two and one here to Ozzie Albies. So the Braves already 5 singles in this game, 4 in this inning to produce 2 runs. Can Ozzie add on? Curve, and Alvarez keeps it in front. Runners stay there. Great numbers in this situation this year for Ozzie, who is going to appear in his 4th All-Star game in Philly. It'll be his first time starting, though, and when he got that news, he was honest. He said he teared up. He was emotional about it.
Yeah, pretty cool to see when you think about how kind of last year went for Ozzie, trying to battle through some injuries, how great he has been this year, and now to get an all-star starting nod. It is a big deal, and cool to see him share some of that emotion with us.
He deserves it with the year he has had. Continuing to make Peralta work.
It's a couple of really good pitches, 3-2. It's a 3-2 sweeper and then a 3-2 fastball, and Ozzie's able to battle them. Thinking about that changeup and wondering if Peralta, I mean, you got to be careful. Ozzie is locked in right now. But he just threw 2 pitches in the zone. We'll see if he expands. You don't usually do it 3-2, but Ozzie will make you pay if you make a mistake.
Grounder, but Beatty has it. That'll do it. But 4 hits, 2 runs. And how about Jarvis, his first ribby?
He's on the board with that first RBI, and maybe a hand penalty there for Juan Soto. Career of Ronaldo Lopez, of course, some of the starts that he made in year 1 here with the Atlanta Braves in the rotation. But you look at the matchups as far as these New York Mets against a guy like Ronaldo, always kind of interesting kind of to take a peek, and you see the amount of times, of course, that he's faced his team, but there's also been quite a bit of turnover, and the only guy he's faced more than 4 times.
Mauricio's going to bounce out one away.
Has been Francisco Lindor, right? So you sit there, you look at the matchups, you look at some of that history, and so there's not a lot there. Bo Bichette had the most plate appearances, I should say second most plate appearances with 4. And then Lindor is 27. Right. So he is the guy that's got some history that you can talk about regarding Ronaldo Lopez. Of course, those years he was in Cleveland. Ronaldo was in Chicago, is where most of that happened.
Now both over in the National League. And the lineup card flips over. Lindor hitting 4th, so still a few away from him. Here's A.J. Ewing. Hit a homer yesterday, 5th of the season for the 21-year-old rookie.
The Mets being so far out of it, watching A.J. Ewing, Carson Bench, right? These are kind of important times for both of these guys, and it looks like they may have a couple of really good pieces here long term to be able to set up there with Juan Soto and the way this outfield looks tonight. Could be the outfield for the next few years.
I don't know if you caught their owner Steve Cohen talking on the podcast last week. I think you did, yeah. But he was pretty blunt. He just said, I'm extremely worried about the future of the franchise. Was kind of surprised that he was that open with how he felt where things are at.
Yeah, especially financially, right? And essentially alluding to the fact that part of the reason he brought David Stearns in, who spent all those years in Milwaukee, is because he also wanted to be able to tap into the creative element. And almost bracing fans to say, hey, don't think we're throwing a bunch of money at this team this winter. We're going to get a little more Milwaukee-esque maybe in Queens.
Of course, he came from there, did David Stearns. 3 strikeouts now for Lopez.
Not almost identical to the first at bat as far as how he finished A.J. Ewing off with that fastball up and away. It happened a lot quicker in the first one, but he has found a way to get ahead and finish him.
Now the tough task of facing Juan Soto.
But it's probably not what Met fans wanted to hear, right? It was one thing that, sure, you like that your owner's out there and kind of showing his face when the team is really struggling. But hey, oh, by the way, I'm super worried.
Well, you've talked about it, CJ. It's what he pointed to was all the large contracts that could hamstring future moves. And then you've got the farm system for them, which has regressed over the last couple of years. So it's an interesting spot.
Nobody here in Atlanta is upset about it.
That is accurate. But you do have that guy in Ewing.
That's one thing when you talk about kind of farm systems a little bit too, right? And I think the Braves unnecessarily took some criticism about their farm system You sit here and you look around and you say, well, there's a lot of homegrown talent in the big leagues. And then also Owen Murphy is here now, J.R. Ritchie. There's more behind him. I think sometimes, and I get it, they work hard to kind of cover prospects and set rankings, but a lot of misses in there.
Yeah, well, you look at Drake Baldwin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no one would have expected outside of the Braves organization that Drake Baldwin would be doing what he is. If you want to call him diamond in the rough, whatever, but the Braves have found some good ones that maybe weren't on the big prospect radar, but have become really good big league players. Called strike. Soto's going to challenge.
Pitch is called a strike. The batter is challenged.
Now they only have one left, but I think they're going to keep it. He looks pretty confident.
Yeah, I think he might be right here, as much as you want to see it.
Ball's overturned. New York has one remaining.
T-Mobile bringing you that ABS review. 2 walks for Soto now tonight.
So I remember, I think it was Darren last year, it said there's no guy I love enjoy getting watched getting rung up than Juan Soto. He's complaining about a pitch. He knows the strike zone so well, and so he's always pushing umpires, and it'll get under your skin certainly as an opposing pitcher, but credit where credit is due. He definitely knows the zone really well.
Bichette comes up swinging.
And I think the other thing that Steve Cohen kind of alluded to a little bit was, hey, we got guys with opt-outs, including this guy right here. And it's a big first-year payday, and it'll be interesting to see if Bo Bichette wants to stick around. And the organization's going to be in flux, right? They need a manager. You're wondering about the roster. Your owner's kind of telling you, I'm concerned. You want to stay or you want to get back out in the market? He may want to get back out in the market.
Well, either way, for the next few years, he's going to be making some money. 3 years, $126 million was the deal with those opt-outs. Charging Dubon, but he'll have to pump the brakes and take it on a bounce.
A slider here, and it looked like maybe off the end of the bat here for Bo Bichette. It was nice piece of hitting. We talk about him often, his ability to cover pitches outside of the zone, which he does there on the breaking ball.
So what you said, these guys have faced each other 27 times?
27 plate appearances, 23 at bats coming into today, 3 hits, 1 home run. The home run was all the way back in 2019.
Riley's not going to have room. '12th year in the bigs now for Lindor. Those 6 in Cleveland, and now his 6th with the New York Mets.
The one impressive part of that we just showed you with those numbers, only 1 strikeout in 27 plate appearances.
Well, Lopez with a chance to strike him out here. 0-2. Lindor missed the 2 months with a left calf strain. This is his 11th game since coming off the IL. He's going to bounce it to Ozzie. On to first to retire the side. 2 stranded for the Metropolitans.
Baseball here on Braves Vision. CJ Nikowski, Brandon Gaudin with you. And Matt Olson set to lead off the 3rd inning here against Freddie Peralta with the Braves up by 1.
We were talking to our boss and we barely got back on headset in time.
Well, so I got an amazing gift today from our boss, Jeff Cravens. Went on vacation over the, I say vacation, but we went away for a few days over the holiday. And he said, hey, can you make me some sourdough? Which I did. And made him some bagels, made him some bread, some Parmesan, rosemary.
Matt Olson absolutely demolishes his baseball. to the second deck of the Chop House. He heard you talking about bourbon, and he went yard.
That was going to be the tail end of the story, but this is way more exciting. Hanging changeup here to Matt Olson, and got every bit of it. These are fun to watch. We don't see it too often, right? Into the Chop House, over the Chop House is fun, but to actually get into that section right there for that group is pretty amazing. 403 feet there for Matt Olson. But anyway, short version of the story that Jeff got me a nice bottle of this limited edition Fiddler Chin Music Atlanta Braves rye whiskey.
I love it.
Yeah, and so the dilemma is like it's a cool bottle. When we were in Cincinnati, we went down to Buffalo Trace. Our tour guide said, "Remember, bourbon is meant to be drunk and shared and everything else." And I'm like, "But this is a really cool looking bottle. Like, don't save it, drink it."
Well, this got the crowd excited, but this is going to be an easy play for you. Another look at that Olson homer. This swing is so beautiful.
Yeah, you can see it right there at 86. Freddie knew it, Matty knew it, everybody knew it, and what a fun one to watch here for Matt Olson, who will be headed to the All-Star game, not as your starter, but nonetheless, safe to say one of the best, if not the best, first baseman in the National League.
So 3 homers in the series now, 23 on the season for that man, Matt Olson. We could open that bottle now. I just wanted to offer.
Yeah, I know. It is a real dilemma, especially as we're leaving for the road trip right after this. Do I leave it in my car or do I carry it on?
Line to right, but this one is going to head foul for Dubon. I'm laughing. Where'd you get that picture?
Somebody sent us Wiley with Mauricio Dubon's haircut.
And I gotta say, it doesn't look that bad. Well,
I think it does.
Wiley, get into the barber chair.
Wiley's wondering if he got tagged in or not. He did.
Off the end of the bat. Ooh. And Mauricio calling off Soto. Let's get a message in here from Zaxby's.
Zaxby's Giant Wraps, Chicken Bacon Ranch, Asian Sensation, and Buffalo Blue. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Two down for Dom Smith.
Another sweeper there to a lefty. Really interesting tactic that Freddie Peralta again is taking against left-handers. He had used that pitch less than 1% of the time to lefties. He's throwing it more in general.
Pitch is called a strike. The batter challenge.
Yeah, this one's not close.
The call is overturned. Atlanta has 2 remaining.
Saw those numbers there for Peralta, making now 13 of the 14 home runs that he has allowed have come off the bats of left-handed hitters. And I don't doubt that there was probably a discussion about pitch usage. As again, we talk about the struggles against lefties. 12 home runs coming into this one was already a career high against left-handed hitters, and now make it 13, and he's got basically just under a half a season to go still. So as you're sitting there trying to figure that out, what has been the problem? I think what we're seeing, at least tonight, a few more sweepers, but it has not tricked these lefties.
That hit Dom Smith in the batter's box, foul. And remember, this is a guy in Freddie Peralta. He was an all-star last year, career low 2.70 ERA last season with the Brewers, and now things have kind of gone in the other direction.
And remember also, right, they talked about when they first acquired him, would he be interested in an extension? That's a little bit dangerous for me. You go to a new team, you want to feel it out a little bit, get an idea of what things are like. And it hasn't been that great of a season.
He does get the strikeout here, but he did not strike out Matt Olson. Ed Svita said this ball was cooked more than your sourdough.
I'd agree with that one. An absolute bomb from Matty O.
Is presented by Truist. The Braves got down 1-0, but they have scored the last 3, and now we march to the 4th. Here in the 4th and final game of this series.
You know, the other thing that Ronaldo did so well in that last start and getting through 5 innings was be pitch efficient. He was at 69 pitches, just under 14 per inning, which is an outstanding number. See him here now at 56 pitches through 3+. Have to work a little bit harder to try to get through 5 here tonight. But for me, it wasn't an automatic that just because he went 5, you want to see 6 here. It would be nice. Which one and more see, I think, is the consistency of the outings.
You noted it early, but some of the corner accuracy with those fastballs and the life on those fastballs, that's what we saw from Lopez in 2024. That one was hittable, but fouled away. 2-2. Lopez in search of a 4th strikeout tonight. This guy Binge got him for the homer in the 2nd. Hacks and fouls away 95. Binge has arguably been the Mets' best hitter over the last couple of months. Did have a brief slump in May. 3-2 pitch. Sharp grounder to Ozzie Albies. Let's take a look at our Hyundai inside of the numbers. Braves' last 4 seasons against the Mets. Good numbers, and you go back really over the last decade, and the Braves have controlled this series.
Yeah, they certainly have. We'll have 6 more after this one is over for the rest of the season, and you'd like to see that trend continue. But as they have struggled, the Braves have taken full advantage.
Yeah, the Mets are so far back they might think they're at first. They're 16 games back right now of the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies not only lost today, they lost with Christopher Sanchez giving up 9 runs and 12 hits. They lost 15-1 to the Royals. So chance for the Braves to gain a full game here today.
It'd be nice to get that kind of trending in the other direction. It felt like for the most part with some consistency, if the Braves lost, the Phillies lost or won, or if the Braves won, then the Phillies also won, and you weren't really making up any of that ground.
Yep, a strikeout. Jared Young becomes the 4th K victim of Lopez tonight.
Expanding here with 96 miles an hour. Should take a look at it from the side here. Did he go? He absolutely did. It's a little crossfire there, right? Not that it's a cut to it, but the way that came across the top of the zone, Young thought maybe it was going to end up a strike, and it probably finished 8 inches off.
Skied. It'll be Riley. And it'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Reynaldo Lopez. Riley coming to the plate. Wiley in the well with our Kia Field report.
Well, Brendan, you and CJ discussed Austin Riley driving the ball to the opposite field with power. We saw a rocket from him yesterday. It's actually the hardest hit ball the Braves had all day. But Austin was asked before the game this afternoon if he's trying to go the other way, and he smiled and said, yes, and that's kind of been my approach for the last couple of months. The difference he feels is he's in a better position. So as good as it was to see him drive the ball with authority, he was almost just as encouraged by some of the bloop singles that he dropped in, because that's a sign of being in position to where you can fight off tough pitches like that and potentially benefit. So again, for Austin, starting to feel a little more confident, not just because he's driving the ball, but also because he's finding a way to put the bat on tough pitches and earning himself a couple of cheap knocks.
Makes a lot of sense, right? And you know, when you're having that good year, you're seeing that throughout the entire season, right? When you are posting up a really good batting average, you're putting the ball in play with consistency. Seems like all those bloops are falling in for that exact reason that Wiley mentioned, and that is being in a good position to hit.
3 hits the last couple of days, including that homer to right we talked about. And a lot of work that he put in with that man you just saw in Tim Hires. That Phillies game we were talking about, by the way,
yeah,
they gave up at least 1 run in every inning. The Phillies had not done that since 1923.
That's a difficult thing to do.
It really is.
It's 8 innings at home, right? So it's not the 9 full, but
right.
Still. Let's say I was pitching a game. It was 1999 Old Tiger Stadium. We were getting hammered by the Pirates, and that was happening. It was whatever the score was, 13-1. They had scored in every single inning. And Doug Brocail was a really good setup man that we have with us. Turned out to be a pitching coach later at the big league level. I had the 9th inning. Right, I just had we were short guys. I was a lefty specialist at the time. He looked at me with the most serious expression I maybe ever gotten from a teammate. He goes, "You know what you got to do here.
Put up a 0.
Just get a 0. We needed a 0 in the worst way. We're not letting them score every single inning." And unfortunately, I felt great that night. I'm like, "Where's this when the game's close?" And was able to throw up a 0.
So you stopped the bleeding.
Yeah, it's great. I'm like, gosh, I need to feel like this when it's 1-run lead and there's the guy on second base and I'm trying to get King Griffey Jr. out.
8th pitch of the at bat here. And Riley with a good eye, he'll take his base. Hey, take a tour of Truist Park year-round and see behind the scenes to areas that usually are closed off to the public. Artifacts and exhibits. A lot of cool things here at Truist Park. Go to Braves.com/tours to find all the dates and purchase your tickets today. That goes into the dugout. Checking in, everybody appears to be okay.
So there could be a real opportunity here for the Braves if they could put it on Peralta right now to get him out of this game. You have 6 straight lefties that are due right now, and he's up to 76 pitches. Go one of 2 ways, right? To get that ground ball and double play. It could be a quick one, get a couple of guys on, and there likely would be action in that New York Mets bullpen.
Yeah, 11 of the 16 that he has faced have seen at least 5 pitches, so a lot of long at bats, a lot of deep counts.
And Peralta has been kind of the same thing. We told you about the last 5 and the struggles that had been in there for him. And it was 4 innings, 5 2/3, 2 2/3, and that real bad one. But he just has not gotten particularly deep for most of this season.
Count evens up to Yastrzemski.
Yaz's reaction here told me that this was an out. As he looked up, maybe his perspective was thrown off, or he actually felt something there as he went down to a knee.
And called for time, gathers himself, and ready for a 2-2 pitch. Lines it to right. Binge, diving catch. That's what youth will do for you.
It's a nice play. I thought that ball was going to be down off the bat. Really good base running too by Austin Riley in the way that he read this and did not take off. And this is why, because you know you have a quick outfielder who can go nearly full extension and pull that one back in. That could be a big difference in how things go for Freddie Peralta the rest of this inning.
80 pitches now. Number 81 coming here to Jim Jarvis.
And that ball gets down depending on whether it's first and second. If it stayed that way, maybe first and third. And you got Jim Jarvis maybe in a bunt situation, get a runner over, and now you really have Peralta's back against the wall. Made a big difference on how this whole inning could play out.
One-two coming to Jarvis. Nowhere near. Talked about Jarvis, how he played at Alabama. He is from San Diego, Southern California kid. His dad Chip played football at the University of San Diego, but the brothers of Jim are all baseball players. Brother Luke played at Auburn, was drafted by the Marlins, has since retired. His brother Mike is still playing minor league ball with the Pirates in his 6th season now in their organization after playing at San Diego State in college. A lot of good athletes in that Jarvis family. But Jim Jarvis is going to fly out here to Soto. Here's a message from Delta.
From Braves country to the world. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, the other part of that story for Jarvis, which is impressive, is that it was 4 years at Alabama, right? So he was a 11th round pick as a senior. And the fact that he is now playing in the big leagues, shortstop for the Atlanta Braves, that is a impressive climb.
Seems like that route more and more of a dying breed these days.
Yeah, it's harder now. His first year, his freshman year, was a COVID year, so he probably still had another year of eligibility, but he had been in college for 4 years at that point. When you're in that spot, there is not a lot of leverage to negotiate, even though he could have gone back to school. The Tigers gave him $175,000. The guy in front of him got $572,000, so nearly $400 grand more.
This year's draft, by the way, will start on Saturday. 1-2 to Michael Harris, who has a pair of hits. Oh, the U.S. men's national team scored. I'm like, why is everybody cheering? And then Matthew Kaminsky started to play Country Roads, which is their anthem, and now we're putting it all together.
It was rocking in the Battery and has been for some of those large organizational soccer games.
O'Reilly is going to steal second base without a throw here. He's been a speed demon this season.
Good jump from Austin Riley and catching the New York Mets kind of napping here. It's not automatic that you just let him take second and Michael have a shot with a runner in scoring position.
Career high 5 stolen bases for Riley now. Mets hoping that Peralta can get through the 4th here at 90 pitches. There's nobody throwing. He's 1 strike away from sending this ball game to the 5th inning. Up and in, almost hit him.
It's kind of where he has been. Again, he hasn't gone deep in games. There's been struggles, but you look at the last couple, 91, 98, 80, 90 pitches, and he nearly clipped the elbow guard there of Michael Harris.
But he comes back with a curveball and strikes him out. On our way to the 5th, Braves up 3-1. '86, our mobile performance. Bob Horner's 4-home run game at old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
I love seeing these old highlights, those old uniforms with the elastic waistband and the big bombs there from Bob Horner. Very cool.
Braves would actually lose that game to the Expos.
When we went through that last year, when we saw Eugenio Suarez and Kyle Schwarber both have 4 home run games against the Braves, was the conclusion that we drew that Bob Horner, that was the only game that the team lost, or was there more than one?
There was one other one. As a single here by Beatty to start the 5th. I'm trying to remember. Now I'm trying to look it up, but I think that there were, after the Suarez 4 home run game last year against the Braves, which the Braves won and the Diamondbacks lost, that was the 3rd time that it had happened.
Gotcha.
But I cannot remember the 3rd one.
Oh yeah, the guy that went down Niagara Falls. That's how he passed away.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it was back in 1896.
That was the rabbit hole we went down. It was more about his untimely demise.
Yes.
4 home run game.
It was the Phillies against the Chicago Colts on July 13th, 1896. Ed Delahunty. Yeah, so the Braves had it happen against him, a 4 home run game twice last year with Suarez and Schwarber. Nick Kurtz also had one for Oakland last year. So 3 of the 21 4 home run games in baseball history happened last season.
Action now in the Braves bullpen with Didier Fuentes warming up here, and mentioned you're at the exact pitch count right now at 69 for Ronaldo Lopez in his last game. Where would you want to go from there? The comfort level is probably around 80.
Ozzie is going to go for the lead runner, and they'll get him. So you figure
at least that. I say I'm very comfortable with 80, 85 as well. I think when you get that lead runner on, what you don't want him is to get into too much trouble and then have to rush Didier Fuentes. As much as he is probably growing accustomed to being a reliever, I think you still try to give him a little bit of extra time if you can.
Is this a situation where if Ewing reaches, maybe you bring in Fuentes for Soto?
I don't think so. It's a good question, obviously, because of where the game is. Kind of watching Fuentes throw in the pace in which he is throwing at, you try to figure out, okay, what are the instructions? Now, as you say that, there's a phone call that's being made that they're probably being very specific about who they want him to be ready for. It could be Soto, or it could be Bichette. But that second phone call there tells you that maybe the game plan changed a little bit. And now it does seem like Fuentes has picked up his pace some.
Now 3-0. By the way, a little housekeeping if you're scoring with us at home. Yastrzemski a single in the second. They did change that to an error on the first baseman Young. So the Braves now 5 hits. 3-1 is the count.
That probably took Yeah, I was going to say 2 earned runs away from Peralta. Probably the right call.
See if Lopez can battle back here and get A.J. Ewing.
Remember how it went. Now, he had been ahead in the count with the first 2 strikeouts. There were fastballs that were up and just out of the strike zone. Don't think you could necessarily take that chance, though, in a full count.
Here comes the payoff with a runner going, and we'll do it all over again.
He's done that pretty well tonight, too. A couple of times to a left-handed hitter. Backdoor breakable, not necessarily the best version of it, but it's catching that outside corner just enough.
Eighth start of the season here for Lopez, 3rd since coming back into the rotation. That is a beautiful pitch to freeze Ewing. That is 3 strikeouts for A.J. Ewing at the hands of Reynaldo Lopez.
Again, remember, the other ones were up and away. You go backdoor curveball and come back and paint a fastball down and in. That is a thing of beauty from Reynaldo Lopez.
And he will get to face Juan Soto now. '18 homers. Gets away, and Mauricio will jump up to second base. It's the only time in Major League Baseball that you can have a guy on one team with the last name Mauricio and a guy with the first name Mauricio on the other side.
And our Mauricio doesn't seem to care for it very much based on that facial expression.
I'm not impressed. Two walks for Soto, and those are the only 2 walks surrendered by Lopez here tonight.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea of how you approach Juan Soto right now. How aggressive will Reynaldo Lopez be? It's Bo Bichette on deck. If you don't get Soto out, you're probably out of the game. You're not going to get through 5. Of course, you don't just want to give in. I think aggressive on the corners is the play.
He's going to get him. Fastball that is put high into the sky and down into the glove of Jarvis. So Lopez gets through 5 and close to ending the night. He serves A.J. Ewing a little frozen pizza.
The Braves leading the Mets by a score of 3-1. Braves country, if you get Braves Vision through your TV provider, now you can stream the games on the go at no extra cost. Head over to braves.tv/authenticate.
How far is this one going to go? Toward the wall, and not able to bring it in. Binge, he got there, but he didn't catch it. And Ozzie is standing on second base. He was excited about that Braves TV promo.
As he should be, because all you have to do is select your TV provider and log in. It is that easy to unlock your seamless access to Braves Vision as we take a look at this fastball down the middle at 93 miles an hour, Ozzie. And remember, visit braves.tv/authenticate to bring the games like this and the great plays and the not so great plays there in right field to you.
Oh, Binge just got fooled by where he was relative to the wall, but that looked like a catch he probably was going to make, but not to be. Uh-oh, now Ozzie might be in some trouble. Little game of hot box here. Now Matt Olson's going to hustle into second base. So good base running.
It's a little bit aggressive now. Ozzie was going to be out eventually anyway. And I say aggressive meaning the call that Ozzie was out of the baseline. And this is one of those things that can get a little bit confusing for people. But Ozzie establishes the baseline, but it does not get established until there's an attempt with a tag. Again, I don't think it would have ended any differently, so it's probably not a big deal. As soon as he reaches the tag in right there, Ozzie has 3 feet. I don't know if Ozzie went 3 feet there, but either way, he was going to be out eventually and didn't have to play chicken anymore.
So Olson at second. Drake Baldwin now with 1 away. That was a double for Ozzie, by the way. No air on Binge going back and trying to make that play at the wall. That one comes in at 95 and hits Drake Baldwin.
I don't see it too often here with Drake Baldwin. That fastball, though, gets him pretty good there. You mentioned the velocity. That one certainly stung a little bit at 95 up there in near the tricep kind of shoulder area for Drake Baldwin.
He brushes it off. Cionel Perez now getting ready quickly with Peralta at 96 pitches.
That's really interesting. I guess that I was not as perceptive as I thought. It's the 7th time that he's been hit, tied for the most among active Braves right now. Maybe he got hit during those national games. It was a little aggressive, I think, to put Freddie Peralta back out there, and you can see the pitch count getting a little bit closer now to 100, and they just have not pushed him past that much at all. 108 is the season high. He's been at 100 or just over 5 times this season.
Well, he's going to try to get Mauricio Dubon, who is 0 for 2. Peralta starting to empty the tank. That will advance the runners. So now a base knock can get you 2 here.
It's overthrown slider here and just taking off, and you can see that Francisco Alvarez is down to one knee and trying to backpick that. And he just whiffed on it.
Next pitch, number 100 for the 30-year-old Freddie Peralta. Infield in. Dubon fouls it away.
So just as we showed you that shot of the Mets dugout, Kai Correa, who's the bench coach, but also kind of an infield specialist, was pushing back Bo Bichette over at third base and trying to buy him a step or 2 more with the right-handed hitting Mauricio Dubon up. He did not want him all the way up on the grass. I think it makes some sense. You do that on the left side, right side, you're going to play all the way up and try to cut it off. But I think for your shortstop and your third baseman to try to give yourself a step or 2. You have Matt Olson, right, not a great runner, over at third base. That should give you a little bit more time.
Another one that Alvarez has to block, and the count is full. He had first base open. Dom Smith on deck. Perez is ready to face Dom Smith after this hitter.
Another one very similar that we saw earlier, but look at the difference in how Alvarez tries to get it. That one he squares up and uses the chest protector instead of trying to clean pick it. So I think it's not about, I know there's a lot of talk about one knee and kind of the difference it makes, but for me that's the approach of actually how you tried to block the baseball. First time you try to back pick, you can't catch it, a lot harder. You do it the proper way, you keep it in front of you.
He went after it. Sweeper. 2 down now, and that will be it for Peralta. So Perez is coming in. We'll return to Truist Park in a moment. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Rooms To Go. That July 4th sale is going on now at Rooms To Go. Shop and save store-wide. By your local Ford dealer. And also by Georgia Natural Gas. Simple savings right here. Visit GNG.com. All-Star ceremony before the game. And a couple of All-Stars are on the base paths right now in Olson and Baldwin. Perez is going to be the new pitcher. There's the 5 that are going to Philadelphia for Atlanta.
And we hope and believe that there'll be one more at least one more in Michael Harris. Dylan Lee deserves to be there as well. I know non-closers never quite get the credit that they deserve.
Yeah,
pinch hitter too.
I hope both of those guys get there. Yeah, so a chess match. New York brings in the lefty. Walt Weiss counters by using Joey Bart. And Perez struggled his last time out on Wednesday in Toronto. He gave up 4 earned runs in an inning and a third.
So he has had 4 outings this year where he's given up at least 3 earned runs. And those are absolute ERA killers when you are a reliever. Not only did he give up the 4 runs you mentioned, an inning and a third, the other outing which he gave up 4 this year, he didn't get anybody out. The third of an inning he gave up 3, and then he actually went 2 where he gave up 3. So you're talking about 3 2/3 and 14 earned runs.
Bouncer toward the second baseman Beatty, and the play is made. The Mets keep the Bravos off the board in the 5th. Trying to get their 20th series win of the season. That would be just behind 98, 03, and 2023 before the break.
Yeah, certainly has been an impressive run, plus 2 more series before we get there with the Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals coming up. And impressive to see in what this team has done. I mean, the start they got off to was just so ridiculously absurd, and winning all those series before they had finally lost one.
Up 3-1 here. It's onto the bullpen now. Didier Fuentes in the 6th.
He's been great for the Braves in this role. You could see the overall numbers with the 38 punch outs. That 4-seamer sitting at 97 to go along with the slider and the split.
Up the middle, and it slips through. By the way, we welcome those of you watching the U.S. men's national team that is now at halftime. So you're flipping over and getting caught up. The Braves got 2 in the 2nd, and Olsen solo homer in the 3rd to lead it 3-1 here tonight. And there's a big tarps off section in right field.
I looked to my left. I'm like, well, where are they? So I saw them earlier on the big screen, and we've just been so used to seeing them in left field that they tricked us over there in right tonight.
You can see them going over there. It's growing and growing. The average tarps off age seems to be about 18 to 19. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
that's
I think
about
you're
that?
Probably in the pocket. There's probably some 20s in there, some young 20s, and then every once in a while you get your old timer who finds his way in there and just trying to recapture some of his youth. Yeah, that's a good call, BG. I think you're on it.
Yeah, right in that between high school and college.
And a lot of them going with the very popular alpaca haircut. Kind of what's going on with the youth these days.
Not old enough to have hair on the shoulder blades yet, but boys, it's coming.
See a couple of people whose seats are actually in that section. Getting swarmed by bees.
Yeah, like wait a minute, I paid for solace up here.
The future frat boys of America. There they are.
1-2 here to Lindor. Line to left. Did he catch that? You bet he did. What a play by Dubon and left.
They're wondering about maybe potentially challenging this. I got to be honest, I didn't think Dubon was going to be able to get to this one. And what a play it was. They are not going to challenge it. These are tough when you are coming straight in and diving and sinking at the same time, and everything he had to get that ball. Otherwise, Mauricio Dubon would not have caught it. What an amazing play.
It truly was. That was as close as it could be to not being a catch, but he made it cleanly. 1 down. Now Carson Bench, solo homer to left center in the 2nd, responsible for the only Mets run, and he hits it that way again. This one's going to fall. Bichette is being waved home. The throw from Jarvis. They got him. On the night that Jarvis gets his first big league RBI, he throws out his first runner at the plate.
It's a pretty incredible play, and for whatever reason, Bo Bichette just did not look comfortable between second and third, and their third base coach still waved him. And this wasn't even close. I thought there was going to be a close play. Great job by Drake Baldwin to get the tag down the way that he did. It's a good job all the way around to get it in quickly, and then for Jarvis to make that great throw. That is our Car Shield defensive play of the game.
Obviously a tough season for New York. They've been struggling to score runs. An aggressive send, and it does not work out for New York. Tim Leeper over there, third base coach.
It's an impressive piece of hitting, though, and as we talk about Carson Bench and A.J. Ewing and what's happening here in New York, to go the opposite way with some authority against Fuentes on a first pitch curveball. You tip your cap, but Jim Jarvis saves the day with a great throw.
Pretty cool night for Jim Jarvis, huh? A couple of memories for him here tonight.
Did Michael or Mauricio throw that ball in?
I thought Mauricio did, but I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, it was Mauricio.
Because those can be a little bit of a challenge to get there. Everyone gets there at the same time and kind of communicating who is going to pick up this baseball and get it in. And Mauricio has a sneaky good arm in the outfield. Not something we've talked about very often, but he's gotten it up to 97 miles an hour out there.
And Jarvis, tough play here. Safe. Close. They say Young beat it out.
I'll say this for Jim Jarvis. He made this play probably closer than we expected it to be. And a long way to go. Slow hit ball. Really nice job getting the glove down and keeping it there. And then the exchange and throw on the run. And I would agree. He just beat it, did Young, by a half a step.
So no challenge, and there at the corners, Alvarez, the batter.
So the tarp crew out there trying to go through a little roll call with the boys.
Yeah, they keep just chanting different players' names.
I think it's until you get acknowledgement. And then there's the old default chant.
I mean, that section has grown quickly.
Yes, it's doubled since we first showed it.
Ozzie cannot get to it. He's going to score a run. It's also going to put the tying run at third base as things get more interesting here in the sixth inning.
You don't see it too often, but the New York Mets have done a pretty good job of putting the baseball in play against Didier Fuentes. No strikeouts here so far in this one. That's a good fastball. It's a 99 miles an hour and poked just to the opposite field from Alvarez.
The Braves getting Bichette at the plate is looking bigger and bigger as Jeremy Hefner goes out to pay a visit. Ozzie plays translator.
The message here with Brett Beatty, and like we've seen with a couple of these Mets hitters, aggressive early, especially with runners in scoring position. So that means when you have a situation like that, they score a run, things are a little exciting. You want to slow him down and make sure you're not just going to throw that kind of over the plate first pitch and try to sneak a strike in.
Young down at third base, and a young pitcher in Fuentes, the 21-year-old, trying to keep it a 3-2 game.
It's a good job taking advantage of that aggressiveness. That slider below the zone, and that's a gift from Beatty. From the slider to 98. Now he's got him right where he wants him. Go slider down if you want. You could climb the ladder even more so with the four-seam fastball. But again, whatever it is, expand.
Tarp's off section was saying something we can't repeat there. They're getting a little aggressive. Simmer down, boys.
There's some children.
It's a family-friendly show. 1-2. Stays alive. Not only that play at the plate, but you think also about the catch that Dubon made and left. Some good defense has helped keep this a 3-2 game here in this inning. Now can Fuentes strike out Beatty to end the threat?
And we know that pitch is not consistent just yet, but you see these elevated fastballs that Beatty is just fouling off. If that split was where you wanted it to be and you were consistent with it, it would work really nicely right now. But I think if they go off speed, it very likely will be the slider.
98 fouled off again. This will be the 7th pitch of the at bat. Fuentes to Beatty. If he reaches, Ronnie Mauricio in the bottom of the order on deck. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 offering. The next pitch will be the 9th of the at bat.
So all these fastballs, they've either been elevated up and away or away. I don't know what the confidence level is for both Fuentes and Drake Baldwin to try to pop him in, lock him up in. If you do it, you got to get it all the way there.
Strikes him out. Finally gets the heater by him and keeps the Mets to 1 run in the 6th.
97 miles an hour and relentless here from the 21-year-old to get the big out to keep this game to just a 1-run lead.
On that promise. Today, we're still taking care of the military, their spouses, kids, and grandkids. USAA, taking care of our own.
And some good defense there at the top of the 6th.
It has been consistent all season long for the Braves, but as you mentioned, big plays that affected this inning in a big way. Mauricio Dubon with the diving catch, then the throw and cutoff here from Jim Jarvis to nail Bo Bichette at the plate. It's a completely different game without those 2 plays. Not just the fact that they were outs that ended up cutting off runs and less base runners, but also what that would have done to Didier Fuentes' pitch count and maybe more action that we would have seen in the Braves bullpen.
That's more action than we needed to see up there. Those guys are making it fun, though.
Well, I do like seeing the occasional, like, 10, 12-year-old over there too, right? It's kind of cool. It's like you just inherited 1,000 big brothers.
It continues to grow. There is that rogue, like 40-year-old guy in there.
That's the biggest one we've seen, hasn't it?
Yes.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. We had that one in left where Wiley went up that was big. This one in right field, though, is larger.
On a Monday night. Love it.
Slowly to third. It's going to go foul before Bichette touches it. Strikeout, a walk, and a stolen base for Riley. 1-2 from Perez. They got him to expand with a curveball down. A message right here from Truist.
Leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist. Learn how knowledge and care can work for you.
He has had a hit that was changed to an error, so he is 0 for 2 with a run scored tonight. He definitely has a hit here. That one's not going to get changed to an error.
It's a good approach here from Mike Yastrzemski. You know that there's a big fastball you get from Perez. This is 99 miles an hour left on left. You've got to get it started early, and Yaz did, and was on time for this base hit.
So the Braves still have not gone 1-2-3 in any inning tonight. Brought you a gift as
I mean,
a hunk of Parmesan cheese the other day, and now I'm eating my gift to you.
You're in. Yeah, you're in, though, right? I mean, it sounded like to me that you're now in the club.
CJ told me to pair it with blackberries, so that's what I did over the weekend. I ate an entire hunk of cheese with a big carton of blackberries.
It's the cheat code protein bar.
Jarvis fouling it back. Really have to work with this plastic knife. So
we have a real knife in there. There's a real knife in there for when we have bagels. That's in the locker back there.
Oh,
yeah. You might want to go that route, or just do what I do on the road and actually eat it like it is.
No, I don't want to do that because I want you to continue to have some of it.
But I won't be back for 2 weeks after tonight, between the All-Star break, the road trip, and the All-Star break, and then I'm off the first series against the Rangers. So
well,
you might have to just go ahead and bite it.
Take this on the road with you. Oh, we looked up what it would look like with Wiley got that haircut.
What, a little more on top, right?
The Mauricio.
Yeah.
What do you think, Wiley?
I feel like I've had that haircut before. That one, to me, Mauricio had a lot more on top, like you said, CJ. That looked like just a one on the sides and thin it out up top.
But one guard. So in high school, where I grew up in Evansville, Indiana, on the east side, every guy that is in that tarps off section would go to one style Lyle. And if you were 16 to 22, you went to one style Lyle. You'd get the one guard on the side, 2 to blend into a 3 up top, a little poof. And I mean, it was $10.
Yeah.
You were in the chair for about 4 minutes, and it looked similar, but a little more faded in blend naturally than Mauricio's.
So Lyle, assuming he was the barber in town.
One style Lyle.
And when you sat down, he didn't ask you, hey, what are we doing today?
Well, it's funny. He would say, oh, what do you want? And you'd tell him, and it didn't matter. He was going to give you the same haircut. And that was the joke. He's one style Lyle. He was a legend. And then he kept a pile of Tootsie Rolls. He called them Tootsies on the way out. And as you left, he'd say, grab you a Tootsie, Gotti.
I miss those days. We had a cool little barbershop downtown in my town as well as a kid.
I miss $10 haircuts.
Yeah.
Where did those go?
No.
One ball and 2 strikes here to Harris.
What happened? Did they get shut down up there? That got quiet real quick.
Oh yeah, they're disbanding. I wonder if a few of the vulgar chants maybe got him into some trouble.
Shirts all went back on. They have disbanded.
It's like the parents came home early. They were out of town all weekend. They showed back up. But
grab these kids by the ear, pull them out.
Well, Perez strikes out the side. A Yastrzemski single mixed in there. But it's 3-2 Braves after 6. Hey, show your love for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man as the Braves battle the Padres on July 21st here at Truist. Purchase of the Marvel ticket package. Fans get a game ticket and an exclusive Braves Spider-Man bobblehead. Go to Braves.com/Spider-Man to secure yours today. So 7th inning, and the lefty Dylan Lee is on.
And this should be all-stars we've talked about in the National League. Now, there's not a qualifier for relievers, but I'm looking at 35 games, 35 innings. I think that's probably a fair number. It's the third best strikeout rate in the National League for a 35 and 35 guy right now here in Dylan Lee, and the ERA is second best. Like, this is kind of a no-brainer that he has been one of the best in the National League and deserves to be in Philadelphia.
Just that one outing a few days ago against St. Louis where he struggled, but then he bounced back against the Mets yesterday.
And there's a lot of different ways to carve it up, and I know we can get maybe sometimes a little bit over creative with some of the stats and put a lot of things on there. When you keep it to the simple ones, like the ERA, like the strikeout rate, he's also taken on, and none tonight, 17 inherited runners. Only 3 have scored.
Right field. There's Yastrzemski.
And this is the best bullpen in baseball. And we know Iggy missed some time. Suarez is on the IL right now. Kinley had to miss some time as well. I mean, he has been the most steady of the group. There's really no excuse. The thing that unfortunately gets in the way, and I don't know how you feel about it, it's cool to see because you love the picture, but the fact that every team has to be represented sometimes causes some of these snubs.
That's one that a bunt here, but foul. I just had this conversation yesterday with a friend. I'm in the middle on that one because it is cool, but it also leaves off a couple of deserving players. So it's a tough one.
And we had that stretch where we were not wearing even your team's uniforms, which I hated. They finally got that part right because, again, that whole picture as a kid was always the coolest thing. Right? And everybody in their own uniform for the All-Star picture. You're on bad teams, and I've been on a few. It was who's going to be our All-Star this year, right? Somebody's going to get an All-Star nod that probably doesn't deserve it. And of course, you got a team like the Braves this year who have 5 and probably should have 7.
And I beg your pardon, I mentioned Lee's good outing against the Mets. It wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago on Saturday when he came in and struck out 3. Falling behind Ewing here, 3-1. And remember, Ewing has 3 strikeouts already. In danger of a 4th. And the dreaded golden sombrero. Three give chase. Look out. Riley, a visit to the Tart Ferry over there, but he's okay. Coming up, we will send it to the battery for the stretch. Brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Nick Green, Charlie Culberson waiting. Ewing is really trying to avoid that fourth strikeout.
Well, the last Mets rookie to strike out 4 times in a game was the guy that's behind the plate for them tonight in Francisco Alvarez. Back in 2023 in a game against the Yankees.
Ewing almost joined him, but he avoided it with a walk. Well, now there's a news section, or maybe they moved. So we were told, by the way, the reason that they were kicked out, it wasn't because nobody wanted them to not have fun. It was because, unfortunately, a couple of bad apples threw things to the level below. And a couple fans said, hey, they're throwing stuff down here. It's not safe. And so the cops had to go up there and break it up. Let's hope that this group is a little quieter. Well, vocally loud, but, you know, not throwing things.
Don't ruin it for everybody, right? A couple bad apples.
Deep down the line and going foul. Soto just missing his 19th homer of the season.
It's been a good battle here over the last few years between Dylan Lee and Juan Soto. 13 plate appearances, 2 for 11 with a couple of singles. He has struck him out 4 times. And he's not been afraid to sneak that changeup in there against him.
I think it was last year in a big spot in Queens that he got him on a changeup.
Sounds familiar, yep.
In the middle of that heat dome where it was 130 degrees.
We might not have been seeing straight in that game, but that does seem familiar.
(3-1). Soto 3 walks here tonight. So back-to-back free passes issued by Lee. There's nobody in the Braves pen, but Jeremy Hefner will trot out.
And it's the first time this year for Dylan Lee in which he has issued 2 walks in a game.
Let's get a message here from Yamaha.
Introducing the world premiere of the 29-foot series from Yamaha.
Bo Bichette, who's having a great series. 2 hits today, 8 so far here in Atlanta in this series, and he's next up. He leads the Mets with 50 RBI this year, and 10 of those have come in the 6, now 7 games against the Braves.
So these two have never faced each other. You got a very aggressive Bo Bichette. Drake Baldwin's going to come out and just kind of give the signs of what they just decide to do here if you see a double steal. But what you have to be careful, I think the slider, he's got to crowd him a little bit more inner third and down. He likes to get his arms extended and go the other way. But he's not afraid to expand early in the count.
Drake Baldwin, nice job of blocking that. Nobody there, but on the other side, A.J. Minter, old friend, is getting ready to come in the bottom of the 7th for the Mets. Riley has it. Oh, what a pick by Ozzie Albies for an inning-ending double play.
Wow.
How huge was that?
This is unbelievable. It's right at Austin Riley. Makes a good play here. But the throw from the knees from Austin Riley, it's in the dirt. And Ozzie doing his best. Matt Olson over at second base.
What a way to send us to the stretch.
Welcome to the stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Service, savings, sustainability. It's that simple.
Welcome in the stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Nick Green and Charlie Culberson here with you. Charlie, let's talk about Reynaldo Lopez for a minute. His 3rd straight start since moving back into that rotation, and for the 3rd straight time, he gives the Braves a really good start.
Yeah, he was really good from the start. 3 straight pitches to open up the game with a strikeout on his fastball. Fastball up to 97.5 miles an hour tonight. He looked really good. 80 pitches through 5 innings and getting Juan Soto to end the 5th.
Yeah, he's been great, and you want to see what he can do in that rotation. Kind of what he did early on in the season and back a couple of years ago. It feels like the velocity's getting back, Charlie, and that command's gotten better too.
Yeah, and he got better as the game went on too. Just the one mistake pitch with the hanging curveball to Binge there with the home run. So just the 1 earned run, but really good tonight, really effective. You could tell he's more comfortable on the mound, and his stamina is getting up there as well.
You can see too with the outs by pitch type, the 4-seam fastball was the weapon tonight. Trouble throwing the slider for strikes, but didn't really matter when the command of the fastball is what it is, and the fastball velocity is good. It's going to be a good start for Reynaldo Lopez. Let's get you back to Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
When it comes to natural gas in Georgia, G&G leads the league. We keep it simple with great rates that save you money. We even make it easy to reduce your carbon footprint with greener life. Sign up in minutes at gng.com. It's that simple.
3-2 Braves clinging to a 1-run lead. Great defense helping them tonight. Bottom of the 7th, and A.J. Minter is on for the New York Mets.
And for A.J. Minter, he allows his first run of the season against the Atlanta Braves, right? It was the Matt Olson home run. Other than that, it's been an excellent return from the IL.
First pitch, he's going to get Ozzie to pop up. Go back to that defensive play.
Yeah, I think what's lost in this is that Austin Riley is making the throw from the knees. I mean, clearly an unbelievable pick from Ozzie, and holding on to the bag. You see the excitement there from Dylan Lee and from Matt Olson. What a play. The defense tonight has been the difference in this 1-run game.
I mean, you think about it, the Mets have 7 hits. They have 4 walks, 3 of those to Soto, but they've been held to just the 2 runs.
Oh.
Well, Matt Olson joking with his buddy.
Well, I mean, it was the home run last time. Is he, seriously considering it? Bo Bichette is playing essentially a deep shortstop as the 3rd baseman for the New York Mets, so there is all kinds of room over there.
The homer was deep to right center in game 1 of this series. Our Toyota Trends feature. Look at the 7th inning or later this year for Matt Olson. 8 homers, over 300 average.
So do you think Matt Olson has any bunt hits in his career?
I'm going to say he's got 1 in Oakland.
He does have 1 in Oakland in 2020. But also the year before in 2019, he had 5. That's the last time he had one was in 2020. So it's been a minute. And then, of course, different time, heavy shifts all the time, and he was taking advantage of it in 2019 with those 5 bunt hits, but hasn't had one since 2020.
Waiting a 2-2 pitch here. No home run this time off of Minter. So 2 away now, bottom of the 7th. One of my favorite booth moments just happened while we came back from the stretch. Of course, we tossed out the Cracker Jack. CJ surprised and grabbed Chick-fil-A fries from the back and just tossed out a thing.
We had a lot of waffle fries left over today, right? And the kids love the waffle fries.
And Baldwin the other way for a 2-out single.
Well, you know how it's going to go with A.J. Minter, and that is that you're going to likely see that cutter, the four-seamer in there as well. But at some point, you're going to get a cutter in or near the strike zone, and Drake Baldwin not waiting around. And interesting there, you see Mauricio, he's actually going to his left while that ball was going right. He had a really bad read off the bat from Drake Baldwin.
I didn't see, but I assume those fries just went everywhere.
They didn't catch them clean, but they didn't dump them. When I lean over, I almost want to see a few on the ground, knowing that they didn't pick the ones up off the ground and eat them. Oh, yeah.
They're there.
That guy just walked right in them. You just stepped in some fries, sir.
There's about 8 of them down there.
That's good. I'm almost glad. I mean, I'm sorry that we made a mess, but I'm glad the kids didn't eat them off the ground. They came away with about 80%.
That was a great gift. Hard hit. There's another one out to left center. Baldwin's going to head for third. Dubon's going to sprint for second. And he's in there easily.
Same thing here for Mauricio Dubon. Get a cutter that's close and go after it, and he did. It finishes inner third, but inside the strike zone, and hit firmly here at 101 miles an hour. Because of where he hit it, he is smelling a double right off the bat, perfectly in the gap. And then once you saw that slide there in left field, you knew you were going to have a chance to get a double pretty easily.
Runners at second and third. Joey Bart will be the batter. Joey Bart replaced Dom Smith in the 5th. He grounded out, so 0 for 1. Big spot here in the 7th. Braves could use some insurance. Oh, Bart almost delivered. This might hit the tarps off, kids.
So there's something about this matchup too. Aaron Lavery's okay there. That one really did take off, but the cutter in the zone and the bat speed of Joey Bart seemed like they would match up pretty well. He was just slightly ahead of that one.
Change up down, 1-1. Well, she appears to be okay, but it looked like that one got her pretty good. You don't get many foul balls up there, that's for sure.
So hitting that long, hard foul ball has gotten the respect of A.J. Minter. He comes back with a changeup and now a four-seamer. He may not see that cutter in the strike zone again.
He sees it, but it's inside. 2-2. Braves haven't scored since that Olsen long homer back in the 3rd inning. They have kept the lead ever since. Payoff pitch, Minter to Bart. He's been jamming him inside. He fouls it off to Joey Bart. Riley on deck. 7th pitch of the at bat. He got him. He stayed. So Ronaldo Lopez went 5. Fuentes pitched the 6th. Dylan Lee the 7th. Now here's Tyler Kinley for the 8th.
36th time on the season that we will have seen Tyler Kinley here coming out of that Braves bullpen. 31 in the 3rd innings for him. Overall, it's a .229 batting average against. The only real issue for Tyler Kinley has been the 6 home runs that he's allowed, all to left-handed hitters. And he's got 3 in a row here with the switch hitting Francisco Lindor leading it off.
4, 5, 6 in the order. And that tarps off section in left field is just as large as the one in right field. Now I wonder how many crossovers we have. My guess is 80% are the same. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. They dropped a couple of bad apples on the way. Maybe pick some up along the pilgrimage from right field to left field.
Don't you wish we had a camera of them marching around the stadium?
It's definitely been one of the better ones all season.
Braves pitching has already issued 4 walks. Again, 3 of those to Soto, but none of those walks have come home to score. This is going to go foul. About 10 rows deep. Chanting USA. Unfortunately, it's not looking good right now for the U.S. men's national team, down 3-1 with about 15 minutes to go.
It's always the about. Nobody really knows.
Yeah. Entry time is a moving target. Three-two from Kinley. Got him. A slider and a good one had Lindor out in front.
A lot of success for Tyler Kinley now against Francisco Lindor, who is 0 for 8. And this being his 3rd strikeout. That's a good one there. That's the good deep one there that goes straight down. The times that he's run into trouble, they kind of stay middle of the strike zone, bottom 3rd, where lefties can get to it.
Binge has had a really good game. That homer to left center and then that double to left center in the 6th, and he came around to score.
They got the wave from Austin Riley. It's like the 3rd time he's gone through roll call tonight. It's usually a one and done.
Now they're on it to Ozzie. He waved. Who's next, boys?
I don't know who's leading that over there. Let's skip right over Jarvis.
They're on to Olsen. He just waved.
Boys are enjoying it.
It's Jarvis now.
Let it build up, young man. Let it build up. It's your Derek Jeter moment right now.
Pitch and fall ball to catch a challenge.
Meanwhile, we got a challenge here.
Oh, is there a game going on?
The call is confirmed. Atlanta has 1 remaining.
Ooh. Less than 1/10 of an inch. So 1 challenge remaining for both teams, and now a walk here for Binge, who continues to have a nice night.
A little bit of a different approach there for Tyler Kinley. Again, we know how much the slider is a big part of what he does, but that one started and ended with a fastball. He's trying to get some chase from Carson Bench that he just could not get.
Iglesias is in the pen right now for Atlanta. They just got Yastrzemski. I think they have gotten an acknowledgement from everybody except for Kenley and Baldwin. Those two are going to be tougher.
Yeah.
They're saying Kenley's name.
I mean, what do? Usually the pitcher is not where you go mid-inning. They should have went Drake first, and then you could have just went Tyler Kinley the rest of the inning.
If he strikes him out, now you only got 2 outs. If it's the third, then you acknowledge him. But you don't acknowledge him after the second out, do you?
I would, just so they can move on.
Olsen to second for 1. Double play! And what a double play it was as they screamed Tyler Kinley's name from the upper deck.
The defense doing it again all night here, and this is one of the tougher plays in baseball for a pitcher to get over there in time when you got this hard throw coming to you. Everybody imitating Matt Olson tonight.
Partner, I think the Braves defense is kind of the story tonight.
I would agree, and thinking how different things would be here tonight. Another excellent play. Again, this is tough for a pitcher. You can see where Tyler Kinley's foot is, and that was a lot closer than I realized when you watch it there in slow motion, right? You're getting over there. You're trying to find the bag. You're also trying to stretch. You got to anticipate a bad throw, and Tyler Kinley did it all perfectly.
It's 3 straight innings with big defensive plays. You had the play by Dubon in left, and then the relay home from Dubon to Jarvis to get the runner at the plate, and Bichette. Last inning, the double play, Riley and Albies, and then that one there to in the top of the 8th. All big. All right, Zuniga, first appearance at the big league level since 2024.
It has been a while, certainly, and this is a big man right now, taking them out at 6'5" and 230 pounds, and he looks every bit of it and more.
That last action 2 years ago was with the Angels. He had 2 appearances in 23 with the Cardinals, 15 and 24 with the Angels. And now here, his first with the Mets.
He pitched a couple of games in the WBC for Team Columbia. So I didn't realize this when I was looking him up. His career actually started with the Braves. 16 and 17 when he was just 17 and 18 years old when he was in rookie ball before making his way over to the Dodgers.
He's had to persevere, and it looks like he's going to get Riley here to start the bottom of the 8th. Now, the only thing that would have made that double play better is if afterwards Kenley looked up to the tarps off section.
I thought it was coming.
I did too.
We'll ask him about it after the game. He said, I didn't even know. I was so locked in. I couldn't hear him. That's what a pro would say.
Yeah, right in on the hands and pop back to Zuniga. That's tough. You got 99 bearing in on you there. Mets are going to try to retire the Braves in order for the first time tonight. Jarvis will try to prevent that. Iggy is ready, folks. He's just waiting for the top of the ninth, where he will face the bottom three in the order, starting with Alvarez. Jarvis started the Braves scoring tonight with that single and an RBI back in the second. First RBI of his career. Nowhere near. And so the Braves still have not been retired 1, 2, 3. Jarvis will take a 2-out walk.
That's what he does, right? The on base was really good for him in the minor leagues. He's off to a nice start here with the Braves, and you do wonder, would you get a little bit aggressive? We'll see what things look like, and is there an opportunity to steal a base? That's what the conversation is right now.
With Harris at the plate. Jarvis staying put. Challenge.
Pitch is called a ball. The catch is challenge.
It's going to be super close.
Call is overturned. New York has one.
Come on.
So both teams still with one.
I mean, and I've seen a bunch of these. It is curious, right? Because you see 90% of the baseball out of the zone, and for the umpire and for the hitter, you're seeing it's got to be a ball, right? Nope. For Antoine Richardson, right, they're going off of any information that they were able to get from the minor league time, but this is obviously the first time they're seeing him in the stretch and trying to figure out whether or not it's the right play. It's never a bad idea in a situation like this if you feel comfortable.
Now Michael's going to challenge.
Strike, the batter challenge.
Braves are going to lose their last one here.
Call is confirmed. Atlanta is out of challenge.
Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. One, two. Let's see if Jarvis goes here. Yep, he's gone. And he's going to return.
I do wonder, and it's not an indictment on Michael, but just in general with the idea of what should the strategy be when you have one left and you're up. If you're down and it's close, you got to go for it. You need base runners. When you have the lead and you know you're handing it off to your closer. I know Walt hasn't done this. I don't think many managers do, but I almost put a no challenge on in an inning like this.
Yeah, unless, you know, bases are loaded and it's a 3-2 pitch that you really feel confident missed. Yeah. But I'm with you.
Everyone's still kind of working through it, I think, a little bit, feeling it out and seeing the different game situations that come up, right? It's easy to say after the fact when we see it, and how often are you really thinking about that ahead of time.
Jarvis not running that time. 2-2 here to Harris.
Just about to say he hadn't thrown over yet.
No.
I wonder about the comfort level a little bit. I mentioned the first time back in the big leagues in a long time.
Harris with a swing and a miss. We are off to the top of the ninth. It is time to get Iggy with it. Baseball is brought to you by Comcast Business. All in connection and protection your small business can rely on. No one does business like Comcast Business. By the Georgia Lottery, today could be the day. And by Chevrolet, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. Great defense for Atlanta tonight, helping them cling to that 3-2 lead. And now they turn it over to first-time All-Star Raisel Iglesias.
Which by itself, that sentence almost seems impossible when you think about the career that he has had and the years that he has put together, that this is the first time for Iggy.
In his 12th big league season, 36 years old. He deserves it. The Braves need him here, but Alvarez takes the first pitch and lines it to center for a single. And now they will get a pinch runner in Taylor. Game 4 of this series. The Braves trying to take 3 of 4. The Mets trying to sneak out of town with a split. There's a strike to Beatty, who is 1 for 3 with a single. Two.
It's a really good version of the changeup right there when you're facing a left-handed hitter, starting it on the corner, finishing it off the plate.
After all those runs the last couple of days, lower scoring here tonight, 3-2. And a strikeout on the 0-2 pitch. Beatty is down swinging at that changeup.
Now we'll talk about location a lot, but this is just a filthy pitch with the arm speed of Raisel Iglesias, 87 miles an hour, and in the zone. And Beatty didn't have a chance.
Ronnie Mauricio at the bottom of the order. Line drive, base hit. Taylor's going to stop at second. So both of the singles have come on the first pitch of the at bat, and the tying runs in scoring position.
Well, certainly the New York Mets are familiar with Raisel Iglesias, and what we know is that he's going to fill up the strike zone. Right, he's going to be aggressive, and so if you see a fastball, not a bad idea to go after it. It's just a matter of whether or not you hit it at somebody. But in the case of the Mets here, it's been 2 base hits.
Well, with the way the Braves have played defense, what would be fitting here would be a game-ending double play.
Keep Soto on the on-deck circle.
Well, he waits. A.J. Ewing is the hitter. 3 strikeouts and a walk for Ewing tonight. .36-year-old pitcher, 21-year-old hitter. 0-2.
Pitch,
challenge.
Strike, batter challenge.
And the Mets are about to be out of theirs.
Call is confirmed. New York's out of town.
Challenge free baseball the rest of the way. Here comes it. 0-2 from Iggy.
Ooh, that's a good pitch.
That's where we needed Lance Barrett's help behind home plate.
Impressive not to swing at that. Now, of course, Ewing just watched the Brett Beatty at bat, but remember, it was in the zone in the 0-2 to Beatty.
That might have been a strike, but the way the glove of Baldwin went away, yeah.
And I don't even think he would have thought of challenging it, quite honestly, because he's diving back to reach for it and didn't get a good look at it.
In the air to right. Yaz has it. Taylor tags, and we'll get to third. So the tying run 90 feet away. And what a matchup we have coming here. Iglesias and Soto.
I mean, there's no way you're walking him here, at least not intentionally, with the potential time run at third would put the potential go-ahead run in scoring position. The history, though, not terrific for Raisel Iglesias. 3 for 4 against Soto in his career. A couple of singles and a double.
How aggressive will Iglesias be here?
The one time Iggy got him out was all the way back in 2018. There's your answer.
He went right at him
with a two-seamer.
Oh,
he's really hard to get chase against. He sees the strike zone as good as any hitter in baseball, probably the best at it.
Now an 0-1. Went inside. These two guys will be teammates in Philadelphia at the All-Star game. Right now, enemies. That's the right call by Lance Barrett, but it's a call you'd like to have if you're Raisel Iglesias.
What you really want is him to swing at that pitch and hit a ground ball to Ozzie.
Already 3 walks tonight for Soto. And a 3-1 count here with Bichette on deck.
I mean, technically it is an open base, and while you don't love the idea, you certainly don't want to give in either to Juan Soto.
This ball is hit high and deep to right. If it's fair, it's gone. And it is fair, and the Mets, down to their final out, get a 3-run homer from Soto to take the lead.
That was a big one. 430 feet from Juan Soto. Four-seam fastball, 95, very similar in the spot in which we saw earlier. And then he fouled off, and Juan Soto just watching it to make sure it was going to stay fair because it had plenty of distance.
What a roller coaster of emotions. Just like that, with one swing, this game is completely changed. And for Iglesias, he had that streak going, 35 consecutive save opportunities. 37 is the Braves franchise record. It's Craig Kimbrell back in 2013, and unfortunately Iglesias will not get to number 36 tonight. Now Bichette is feeling this after that foul ball, so they're going to check on him.
Two-seam fastball running in here on Bo Bichette. You can see it catching him on the left leg there. Look like maybe above the protection that he has. Oh yeah, inside of his knee.
Yeah, he's going to be feeling that one tomorrow. But
see how aggressive he is, right? For me, you go right back in there. Try the slider way away, but I like the fastball out.
Fouled on that two-seamer. Well, now you got to think about the bottom of the ninth. Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, Drake Baldwin are the scheduled hitters for Atlanta. And Devin Williams, the closer for the Mets, is getting ready. Had a crazy ninth inning yesterday. Maybe there are more runs to come in the bottom half. Hopefully there are. Mets got that brief lead in the top of the second. Then Atlanta scored the next 3. Boy, he got another one off of his leg there, but I think that one hit the pad. Either way, Bichette taking a beating here in the 9th.
This one, the changeup as opposed to the two-seam fastball, but there's still run. It's coming inside to Bo Bichette. Yeah, you're right. It catches some of that pad, but it's a weird spot that he has it in, right? He's protecting kind of the inside of his calf, and that one looked like it caught some shin. Let's go up there in a ski boot. Might be better off.
Yeah, I mean, he's feeling it right now. But he is still fighting. That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And remember, after this, the Braves have to head to the airport, get on the plane, go up, start a series tomorrow with Pittsburgh. So it's going to be a late night. Iglesias takes it, frustrating with his flip to first, you can tell. And the Braves will need to rally if they want to win 3 in this series. He's the more well-known young arm, but Waldrop's certainly an emerging one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. Really, throughout the series, we're going to get some very good pitching matchups between the Braves and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Going to be a fun one.
3 there, 3 in St. Louis, and then the All-Star break. But business to take care of yet here in Atlanta. It's been an up-and-down year for Devin Williams, but he's going to try to come on and get the save. There's what he did yesterday.
So we'll see if yesterday's kind of craziness of the 9th inning will have any effect. Not only did he end up coming in the game, but you know that at the end of the 8th inning, he had gotten up to warm up to pitch the 9th. And then things kind of got away from the Braves, so he sat back down, then eventually got back up again and came in the game. And you saw what the line was, giving up the 1 run. There was 3 hits there over 2/3 of an inning. So maybe some fatigue. We'll see.
Of course, Williams was so good with the Brewers, a couple of All-Star seasons. He struggled last year with the Yankees, so he goes from the Bronx to Queens, and as I said, it's been a little bit of a rocky road this year as well. 1-1 delivery to Ozzie Albies. Pop back out of play.
So hopefully the Braves come back, they win this game, but it'll be an intriguing conversation, and certainly I'm sure something Walt will be asked after the game, right? We talked about it. Would you go after Soto in that spot? But you're putting the potential go-ahead run in scoring position for Bo Bichette. Completely different after all, kind of the airs out of the room after the homer. But we did see, of course, Iggy get him out. It's a tough one. And we know this. Iggy's not afraid of anybody. He goes at every guy. He's very aggressive in what he does. Hindsight 2020, certainly.
Foul. It's been such an amazing year, obviously, for Iggy. Kind of a superhuman season, but he proves human here tonight. Ozzie to right center. That baseball will get down. Ozzie is going to get to second. I was thinking maybe 3, but he's not going to risk it. It took them a while, Ewing and Binge, to get that baseball in from the warning track.
Good sign here as Ozzie stays on the changeup. It was below the zone, and Devin Williams, when he is right, is one of the best changeups in baseball, nicknaming it the airbender. But we see Ozzie do this so often where he keeps his hands back long enough. And yeah, you're right. Right here was missed. And then You thought maybe there was an opportunity, but again, you're not taking that risk down by 2.
2 doubles tonight for Ozzie, and here is Matt Olson. A homer back in the 3rd. Oh, Ozzie just took 3rd because no one is even close to the base. He could have crawled there.
So you love having him there, right? The run is really important. You have all this room, but all he has to do is beat Bo Bichette, who's over there touching his hat or whatever he was doing. So it's disruptive for Devin Williams, but it also gets that runner off second base. Always kind of 2 different ways to look at it, but you take every base you can get right now.
3-1.
Because now the other part of this for Ozzie is he can take a monster lead down the line if he wants because of where Bo Bichette is playing against Matt Olson, and that can be distracting for a pitcher.
There was career stolen base number 100 for Ozzie Albies to get him to 3rd base.
Easiest of his career, number 100.
Deep to left. How far will she go? Into the bullpen. We are tied. Second tonight for Matt Olson, and that is as big as they get to tie this game here in the bottom of the 9th.
More 9th inning nonsense here between the Mets and the Braves.
And there's still nobody out. Another look, Siege.
And take a look at a 4-seam fastball that is elevated, and Matt Olson so strong to hit this baseball the other way into that New York Mets bullpen. It's 379 to the opposite field to tie it up.
Oh, 1 here to Baldwin. Upstairs, 1-1.
You'll never know for sure, but again, what happened yesterday and what Devin Williams has done so far here tonight, you can't help but wonder how it may have affected him in getting up twice and then having to come into that game when he thought he was down. And then warming up tonight, not quite sure, right? If he's going in the game until you saw Juan Soto hit the big home run.
You saw Luis Torrens try to challenge that. You do get an extra one in the 10th inning, but not in the 9th. And Lance Barrett told him, sorry, buddy, you have no more. Swinging bunt, but it goes foul. Soto had that big swing, but Olson had a big swing of his own. Matt Olson had a multi-homer game to start this series on Friday, and now he bookends it with a 2-homer game here on Monday night.
So we're up to 16 runs in the 9th inning in the last 2 days.
Yes.
Between these 2 teams, which is just absolutely incredible.
base hit. The winning run is aboard. That is the Drake Baldwin that we all fell in love with last year.
So in yesterday's ball game, it was an opposite field grand slam, the first of his career. Elevated fastballs are a non-issue for Drake Baldwin. And look how deep that baseball travels, nearly taking it out of the glove of Luis Torrens to lace it into left field.
Some speed at first base. Jorge Mateo is into the game.
Holding runners, never the strength necessarily of Devin Williams. Now they make the change here with Luis Torrens. He is a very good thrower, showing out 40% of potential base stealers, but 7 stolen bases against Devin Williams already this season.
Mateo not going. Swing and a miss for Dubon. A double to left center in the 7th for Mauricio. 1 for 4 tonight.
And the other part you have for Dubon and for Williams, quite honestly, 2 hits for Mauricio Dubon in his career against Devin Williams, a couple of singles, both of them this year. And so this season he has not gotten him out. He got him out last year when Mauricio was with the Astros. But this is the new Mauricio Dubon. This is Dubon the Brave.
Checking over. Mateo back in.
And if you remember, the one that when we were up in New York in June was that 14-pitch at bat that ended in a base hit. And looking at the pitch chart, it's absurd. Nothing was in the middle. Everything around the edges and up and down.
Double, 2-run homer and single so far here off of Williams for the Braves. Nobody out. 1-2 pitch coming. Bounce to third. That does put the winning run at second base with 1 away. Well, how about Joey Bart getting his first walk-off winner as a Brave? The native of Beaufort, Georgia, who grew up coming to Braves games. Coming off the bench here tonight and a chance to be the hero. Swing and a miss at the changeup from Williams.
Good block there by Torrens. I mentioned he's been a good thrower, but you look at over the course of his career, he's not been necessarily a great blocker, but that right there was a pretty big one.
Keeps Mateo at second base. 1-1 count. This would be sweet for Joey Bart. He's had a bit of a rough year. An unexpected left foot infection in early May. He's out 5 weeks, had to go to the hospital for it. Then gets traded to the Braves, meets his new teammates, thrust into action. Now here we are a few weeks later. Time called just before Williams started to pitch. Also a chance to gain a game on the Phillies here tonight if the Braves win. Upstairs, swing and a miss.
We saw from Torrens there, maybe trying to decoy Mateo out of second base, because kind of gave him that flash down low. If you're giving a location and you see low, you're going to be thinking change up. Not saying they're doing it, not sure if they are, but Luis Torrens was protecting against it.
Riley on deck. The payoff pitch from Williams. He walked it.
Joey Bart probably not anticipating 3 plate appearances tonight, but that was a big one, and not chasing that Devin Williams changeup.
Lefty Brooks Raley is warming, and the lefty Yastrzemski is on deck. So either way, probably the last hitter for Williams. Hopefully it's the last hitter of the ball game.
Even better.
Well, we've talked at length about Austin Riley's season. There have been some good moments, but there have been a lot of moments that Austin Riley has not wanted to talk about because he has struggled. He's got a big opportunity here to give the Braves a win. Announces this foul.
And as Wiley was talking about, that ability to hit the baseball the other way, and something Austin Riley has done so well in his career. And even the Mets right now have him shaded slightly in center field towards right center, because they know when he is right, that is the strength. Now, the risk in that is that if you get a changeup that is in the strike zone, you're probably going to be in front of it and very likely pull it.
Well, Williams is starting to labor. This is going to be his 30th pitch here in this frame. Right out in front of home plate. And the throw down to first. Winning run, Mateo 90 feet away.
Oh, here is that good changeup and just barely hit in front of the plate. And nice play by Luis Torrens. And just as you speculated, Devin Williams is going to be out of this baseball game.
It'll be on to Raley. And we will be back to Truist Park with 2 outs and runners at second and third in a moment. Eternity list, and he's coming up here in the 9th inning with 2 outs, the winning run at third to try to win the game, and Brooks Raley is the pitcher.
And you do it, and while the splits aren't that bad, he has dominated those lefties. The OPS is also significantly lower. Now, a couple of home runs allowed this year by Brooks Raley, 1 for a lefty, 1 for a righty. A lot of sweepers, cutters. The 2-seam fastball sits right at 90 miles an hour, so he's not going to necessarily overwhelm you, but everything is moving, nothing straight.
Wiley reported that Azócar got here about 4:30 today. The late call after Eli White found out his wife was going to deliver a baby. And now here you go, 6 hours later, and he's got a chance to win it for Atlanta. He's got 99 career hits. What a time it would be for number 100.
And he does have a walk-off single in his career back in 2022. I don't know if it counts as a walk-off because he has 2 listed. The other one is a wild pitch. We'll take either one right now.
Whatever it takes. But he's down, no balls and 2 strikes. If it goes to the 10th, Owen Murphy is in the bullpen right now for Atlanta, and he would be making his big league debut. And Owen, we hope to see you soon. We just don't want to see you tonight.
Yeah, the fact that he's crow hopping like that here with 2 outs tells me he may not be going back out right away. I don't know.
Well, we're going to find out. We are destined for extra innings as Raley gets the job done after a very active 9th inning. How about this as we go to the 10th in a 5-5 game? Owen Murphy is ready to make his big league debut. The 22-year-old righty, the Braves' #3 pitching prospect, is into this ball game.
And you can see the overall numbers. We've actually been throwing the ball pretty well lately. He's a very interesting guy. His fastball sits around 92, 93 miles an hour, but it has got unbelievable induced vertical break. That ride at the top of the strike zone is elite level. It is a deep repertoire in what we have seen from him so far in the minor leagues, but an exciting moment for a guy who I think we all believe at some point is going to be in that Braves rotation. But for now, as Walt told us, he is here to help out in the bullpen.
Zokar stays in the game out in right field. Bichette is the runner at second. Bart is now the catcher. Saw some of Owen Murphy's family. Dad Mike, Mom Linda here taking in what is certain to be a very tense, nerve-wracking moment.
So Andy Green seems to have some kind of issue as far as what's going on here with the Atlanta Braves lineup. And what you have is that, of course, Joey Bart was the DH as he pinch hit for Dom Smith. So he's now in the lineup, which also means that Owen Murphy is technically in the lineup. But I think the issue that he had, I'm wondering, I guess, is with Mateo pinch running and staying in defensively. I don't know.
Yeah, so Mateo's in left. Dubon goes to third, so Riley is out of the game.
And that is the spot where Owen Murphy's going to get his walk-off base hit.
They've got it all sorted out. Lindor is the batter. Owen Murphy's first big league pitch is going to produce an out. Soft liner out to Harris.
Nice. Not sure who'd be more nervous right now, him or the family. There is the 4-seam fastball we were talking about, and nearly 18 inches of induced vertical break. And that's not all he has, obviously. There's a cutter, slider, changeup, curveball, 2-seam fastball. It is a very deep repertoire that you get from Murphy.
Unbelievable, though. Your big league debut is in the 10th inning of a tie game against your rival, and you face Lindor. But he got him on one pitch, and now here's Binge.
In a perfect world, you would love to get a young prospect a softer landing. When you bring him up to a contender, and I've been around enough good teams over the years that it doesn't always work out that way, and sometimes you got to throw a young man into the fire.
It's rookie versus rookie here, and Binge has had a great ball game. A homer, a double, and a walk.
Curveball here at the top of the zone. When you have the type of fastball that he has, your breaking pitches will play well up.
Reminder now in the 10th inning, both teams were out of challenges, but they get one here. So keep that in mind. Right there at the knees. 2-2.
When you have carry, it also plays well here because a lot of times the hitter is expecting that fastball to drop outside of the strike zone. Instead, it stays right at the bottom of it.
2-2 from Murphy. Ground ball right at Ozzie Albies. 2 down. Bichette to third.
How's the family holding up right now?
Nervous. I think the heart rate's probably high, maybe higher than Owen himself. There are the parents, Mike and Linda. His first call was to Mom Linda. Tears on both ends of that phone call, Owen said. And he's got a chance to keep this a 5-5 game. Murphy, the 20th overall pick back in 2022 out of high school in the Chicago area. Waited for this moment his whole life. 0-2.
If you can, do it again.
How big would this be? Oh, he lost control of the fastball and hit him. He had him right where he wanted him.
A little bit of an overthrow, right? Some adrenaline building up here after that really good previous fastball. Maybe tried to put a little bit more on it, and he ends up overthrowing it, and you can see right there in the foot. And that had to hurt.
And Young walking it off as Hefner walks out to the mound. Luis Torrens, the catcher, is the batter.
It's probably a little bit more of a heart rate check in this spot for a young man, and the way he's carrying himself right now, pretty solid. But Jeremy Hefner also a little aggressive in the conversation to make sure that he doesn't lose any of that edge, because he's looked pretty impressive since he's taken this mound.
Torrens, a veteran, known more for the glove, but capable with the bat. Parts of 9 big league seasons, his third with the Mets, and he comes up here with 2 outs and runners at the corners. Fouls away the first pitch. Well, another 0-2 count. Now can he put this guy away? Line to right, going toward the net and into the seats.
The bulk of the strikeouts, 37 of them for Owen Murphy, came on that four-seam fastball. The second pitch that had the most strikeouts for him was actually his changeup, which used a pretty decent amount of the time and a very low batting average against it. We haven't seen it yet.
Left field. Mateo cannot get there. They're going to try to score 2. Throw from Jarvis is cut off. Torrens delivers a gut-wrenching 2 RBI double with 2 outs and 2 strikes to the top of the 10th.
And we'll just see his location, right? You're way ahead in the count, and you want to expand more. This curveball backed up, popped out of the hand a little bit, and sat inner third, and that's really the only curveball that Torrens is going to get to. I'd like to have seen him kind of take a shot at burying one way off the plate, below the zone, maybe in the dirt. But again, a lot going on, a lot of emotion for a rookie making his debut. But he was that close twice, being in 0-2 counts with an opportunity to end this inning.
It has been a roller coaster ride since this game went to the 9th, with the Braves leading 3-2. A lot has happened since. The Mets getting the 3-run homer with 2 outs by Soto in the top of the 9th off Iglesias. Then you go to the bottom of the 9th. Matt Olson ties it with a 2-run blast. Braves threatened to win it but couldn't get it done, and now the Mets with Torrens taking the lead here with 2 outs in the top of the 10th. Beatty puts it in the air. And Bart will not have a play. Two balls, one strike to Beatty. Good pitch, 2-2. Mets have Luke Weaver throwing. He is getting set for the bottom of the 10th. Slaps it foul. Due up for the Braves, by the way, in the bottom of the inning is Jim Jarvis, 9-1-2.
So he threw one changeup in this at bat. Ended up being down on the dirt with the location of that fastball. You talk about kind of tunneling and how pitches play well off each other. You can start his changeup in that same spot. That should get him out of this inning.
There's the first big league strikeout for Owen Murphy. The Mets do get two. The Braves will need to rally again at the bottom of the 10th. Hefner talking to Owen Murphy after his debut. He came close to getting out of it with no damage, but the Mets do get two.
Yeah, probably talking about the pitch there and the curveball that was up, and you could see some of the frustration there from Owen Murphy. I like the body language, though, right? This is not a kid that came in scared, that was overwhelmed by the moment, execution on a pitch, but having a meaningful conversation at that point and not just feeling like, oh my gosh, I just made my big league debut. Lots to get excited about, even with what we saw there in that one inning.
Luke Weaver, you can see the numbers. The Mets pen has been probably their lone strength, and Weaver's been a big part of that.
He is not allowed to run since April. It has been 23 straight games, 25 innings, 33 strikeouts and 5 walks, and no runs allowed since May 1st.
Time to end that streak. Got the runner out at second in a Zokar, and Jarvis at the plate. Buried into the ground, and the runner will not advance. One down. It's been a wild one with that Soto homer off of Iglesias. Then Olsen comes back with a game-tying homer, and then Torrens with a 2 RBI double. Is there another line to add to this game summary for the Braves?
Let's hope so. A lot of great defense all the way around for the Atlanta Braves tonight. Some clutch moments, some similar feelings to yesterday's game. Some action early, gets quiet, and a lot of action late. Now 9 runs here since the 9th inning. No, how's my math? 7.
You were close.
It's about to be 9.
There you go. You're just predicting the future. That 25 inning scoreless streak that CJ mentioned, that's the longest active streak for a reliever in baseball. So Weaver has really been in his zone.
No.
Michael's going to challenge.
Pitch called a strike. Batter challenge.
And looked outside.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to fit a baseball card in between there. But barely.
Well, that right there is why ABS came into play. And then Michael does that. It's going to roll to the wall and make it a one-run game. RBI double Michael Harris. We are not done yet.
Well, you weren't joking how big the ABS call was. Here comes a changeup, and it's that kind of fast semi-split that you get from Luke Weaver. And it's that in the middle of the plate. Michael all over it. We're 9 miles an hour here in the right field, and most importantly, switching places with his O-car and putting himself down in scoring position.
Ozzie Albies at the plate. He has had some success against Luke Weaver when these two have squared off. 3 doubles and a homer against him. Big swing. Got a piece of Torrens.
Without even looking, I would guess that a lot of that success for Ozzie Albies, as you take a look at this foul ball, has likely come against that changeup. The home run against the changeup back in 21. There's a double against the changeup. Talk about how good Ozzie is at staying back with the hands. Another double against the changeup.
What's this matchup here on July 6, 2026 going to bring? Did he stop his bat? No.
Well, this one is the cutter. Take a peek from the side. Oh, that's close.
Weaver ahead 0-2.
And so far has stayed away from that changeup because of some of the success that Ozzie has had. But he did just speed his bat up right there with the elevated fastball, and maybe a little frustrated with the location of that pitch. That was 0-2 and caught a lot of the plate. Riley's still awake?
He's down there on the edge of his seat.
Ready for your big interview.
Weaver 1-2 pitch. Got him. 97 at the top of the zone. Well, Matt Olson time.
Yep, and that's going to prompt a meeting here as you see this elevated fastball, 97 miles an hour. It's a good location, and Luke Weaver does a pretty good job for not being an overly big guy of generating a lot of power. Is that an Andy Green visit going on out there?
Instead of Justin Willard, the pitching coach.
I think I couldn't get a good look. If that was the, yeah, it sure was.
Here's the homer last inning that tied it.
Yeah, well, this is where that conversation went. They decided that they were going to walk Matt Olson and face Mateo instead. Maybe just wanting to let Luke Weaver know why.
So the tying run at second, potential winning run at first. And Mateo at the plate. Has not had a plate appearance tonight. He entered the game as a pinch runner. Always seems to be interesting when the Braves and Mets get together. Seesaw battle here this evening at Truist Park.
So almost as interesting as Azocar in the career of Jorge Mateo. His 2 walk-offs, hit by pitch and wild pitch.
Love a wild pitch to put 2 in scoring position. Two balls, no strikes. Dubon would be next if we get that far. This is the Braves' longest game of the season. Started at 7:15. We're over 3.5 hours. 6 minutes from 11 o'clock. Hoping for one more big swing from the Bravos. Challenge.
Pitch and foul the ball to catch a challenge.
Oh,
Ball
really?
is overturned. New York has one.
Lee.
Huh. Well, it is what it is. It happens all the time. It goes both ways, but that is something.
Same thing. I think this one missed.
Yep. I would agree.
Whoa! That looked low. That looked a little lower than the last one.
Yeah, it certainly did. And that is pretty surprising.
Huh.
I mean, especially when you talk about it being the middle of the plate and not the front.
Now the Braves down to their final strike. That one was not a strike. 3-2. Oh boy, this one has had everything. The 3-2 pitch. Check down. Did not go. Says Malachi Moore. The ball game continues.
I like the human umpire better than the robot umpire. The robot umpire seemed like it was working against the Atlanta Braves, and that is a good call that Jorge Mateo did not swing at that pitch.
Bases loaded. Mauricio Dubon now. A double in the 7th. Dubon is 1 for 5 this evening. Harris at third would be the tying run. Olsen at second would be the winning run. Ground ball to short, and the Mets hang on. Drama, drama, drama in the 9th and the 10th, but the Mets find a way to win it 7-6, and they get out of here with a 4-game split.
There's a lot going on in this game tonight. First of all, for Ronaldo Lopez, another good start, back-to-back now where he has gone 5 innings and given the Atlanta Braves an opportunity to win. Then the late offense that we saw. Matt Olson, of course, with the big home run to tie it in the 9th. The defense was lights out today, and the debut of Owen Murphy. He'll take a loss in this one tonight, but you can see some really good things. An 0-2 pitch, they got away from him. Other than that, the future very bright for Owen Murphy.
Now the team heads up to Pittsburgh for 3 and then on to St. Louis for 3 before the All-Star break. But unfortunately tonight not to be for the Atlanta Braves. Thanks for sticking with us, folks. Stay tuned for the post-game Nick Green and Charlie Culberson. On our side, we are done. For Wiley Ballard, for CJ Nitkowski, and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off and saying so long, everybody.